What's going on, guys? This is Crater here, back with a new video. First of all, let me just make sure my volume. I gotta see something. I guess. Hold on. All right, I guess. Or no, I could raise up the volume a little bit. What's going on, guys? Well, that's just my headphones. Damn, I'm retarded. Testing. I'm starting a few minutes early. I know this is horrible right here. Alright, whatever. This will do. What's going on, guys? Crater and Ron here. Ron is here. He's coming. He was running a little late, but trust me, he will be here. Welcome, guys, to another episode of This Week in Wrestling. I guess before Ron show, I guess we'll go over a few things. Yes, we are just 2 episodes away from our 50th episode. We should have been done our 50th episode probably like 3 months ago if we would have stayed on track, but I apologize for that. Life happens, unfortunately, but hey, we're getting there. So there's that. We'll be going over everything that happened this week on wrestling. So, if you are a current viewer or your current subscriber, if you want to support the podcast monetarily, there's two ways of doing it. As always, just watching the podcast is just supporting us in general, and as always, I always appreciate that. But if you want to support us monetarily, there's two ways of doing it. You can either sponsor or super chat. Where sponsor, you can get exclusive sponsorship badges in live chat, exclusive access to sponsor-only live chat, and exclusive access to custom emojis in a live chat. And the super chat, which highlight messages in the chat stream that stands out, and your comments will remain pinned to the top of the chat for a period of time. As you can see, my current subscriber goal is still 6,000. It's going to be until the end of the year. We are on track, guys. We're currently at 4,209 subscribers. I'm surprised because there's been lack of uploads, which I did explain. If you haven't already, you could go back and watch my previous video that came out before this, was just an update video telling you guys what happened. We're 70.50% there, so I think we can make it before the end of the year. 6,000 subs. I think we can do it. And our monetary goal for the year is just $1. Before I get to it, for those of you guys who are fans of Universe Mode, I do have some great news. I'm almost done recording the NXT Universe Mode, at least what I wanted to record. This Monday I have off work. Usually I don't get off until like later in the week, like Thursday or Friday. But thankfully I'm actually off on Monday. So great news, guys. Universe Mode is turning a little bit quicker than what I thought. I can wrap up recording because I had to work tomorrow. And I'm doing something after that. But Monday, I'm off. Have nothing better to do until Monday Night Raw comes on that day. So I literally have the whole day to finish recording. I just got to record the first TakeOver event. That's where I'm currently at. So after that, it would just be editing the videos, and Universe Mode can finally return, guys. I really appreciate the wait for those guys who waited. I really appreciate it. I know, looking at my statistics and my analytics, that is possibly the most popular series I have on my YouTube channel right now. Just in terms of just a certain series on my channel, Universe Mode is there. So, and Ron is here. Let me add him to the group chat so you can stop hearing me talk. Hold on, Ron. All right, Ron. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm about to add you to the screen now. Shit. No, it's fine. I didn't like start anything important or anything, so I was just chilling myself, so that was pretty much it. Now, there you go, guys. Ron is here. What's up, Ron?
What's going on, everybody?
So before we begin things, how was your week?
That's my answer.
All right.
It's been I won't say exhausting, but you know, things could have been better, things could have been worse. Just taking it easy right now. I'm kind of having one of those to myself weekends, which means I don't have any money to go anywhere. Also, most of my friends are at Combo Breaker, which is in Chicago. It's a tournament in Chicago, and I'm sick. I'm getting sick and tired of looking on the sideline. I might have to try to go next year.
What exactly is it about? I actually never heard of that event before.
Well, Combo Breaker is just another video game tournament.
Gotcha.
But it's in Chicago this time. There's tournaments practically all over the world, really, but you know, mainly the United States. And I have friends who are sponsored or have a lot of money that can travel to said tournaments. Meanwhile, I can't do that much on ShopRite salary like that. So, but still, it's like, you know, I have some like this tournament over this weekend is in Chicago. It's actually I go to a lot of the Big E tournaments here. And I love the Big E tournaments, but from what I've heard of Combo Breaker, it's one of the best ran tournaments here in America. Like, some people really do hold Combo Breaker up on a high thing, especially since the venue is 24 hours, meaning that they have an arcade room, and usually in most of the tournaments I go to, the arcade room closes like 11, 12 o'clock, whatever. They have a 24-hour arcade room, so if you're not sleeping and you don't want to like go out, 'cause there are people who like to go out, have fun, and do the other things or whatever. But if you just want to like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you want to sit and actually play games half the night, the venue's open.
Interesting. I mean, if I ever have time, because my job just be killing me with these goddamn hours. Because I just, like last week, I had to work a triple shift. I was there from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 10 at night. Wow. And it's like, it's just, my job is just like, what is schizophrenic in terms of scheduling me. I basically don't even have a set schedule. I mean, I always get 40 hours a week, but like in terms of, I can either be working morning that day, afternoon that day, both, night, it doesn't matter. Because since I live right around the corner, they just call me in whenever. So there's that. So I can never really schedule stuff in advance, unfortunately, because it's like, what's the point of scheduling it if it's going to be ruined if they call me in?
Yeah.
So that's... Sadly, unfortunately, I can never schedule stuff in advance. But, yeah. But there are people, but you know who can schedule stuff in advance? And they're already set for the next 5 years? wwe. Because have you heard the recent news, Ron?
Oh, there's been a lot of news that's been coming from...
Well, let's talk about the main...
By the way, I love that segue. That segue was actually pretty nice.
I was thinking of it in my head. Yeah, so the main thing, which is the title of our video today, Smackdown Live moving to Fox. So for those of you who are unaware, apparently, even though it's not 100% like announced by Fox themselves based on multiple sources, it's pretty much a done deal that Fox... so backstory a little bit. There was negotiation deals between USA and wwe because it's just that time of year again where they had to negotiate new deals. In terms of Raw, USA is keeping Raw, and on top of that, they're actually paying 3 times more the amount that they were already paying Raw. So for the next, 3 to 5 years, they're going to be paying more for Raw than what they were already getting paid for. So that's thumbs up for wwe. However, the caveat of that was they were willing to trade or let SmackDown go into the bidding for the other networks to take a hold of. The runner-ups for those biddings were Facebook, which is shocking, and Amazon. But the one that ended up getting it was Fox, apparently. So, yeah.
Well, Facebook, I feel like they would have they went to Facebook. Well, wanted to go to Facebook because I kind of overheard that, believe it or not, there was actually a success of them streaming the mismatch challenge.
Oh yeah.
It was actually getting good.
It wasn't a success in the eyes of wwe. It was a success in the eyes of Facebook because
in the eyes of Facebook.
Yeah, because it was like that was their first original live programming that they had on their Facebook Watch feature. So I guarantee you Facebook was willing to pay, getting first run rights to air SmackDown live on Facebook. You know how much money they were going to pay them for that? It would have been ridiculous. So I could have actually, and me and my brother was arguing about how it would be dumb putting it on Facebook. And I'm telling him, it was like, you understand, he make it seem like, the viewers will drop, nobody will watch SmackDown, be a dead show.
Well, here's something to think about. Twitch Network, Twitch TV, which, by the way, if you see me turning around this way, I'm watching the Tekken tournament right now because by the way, before I get too deep in it, my man Commander, congratulations, he's top 24. And he plays tomorrow. He played today, but in the top 24 tomorrow in second. So they're just like finishing up the phases, and then that'll be it for the night. But anyway, back to my point. Impact is on Twitch.
Yes.
Okay. And not just that. There are a bunch. Matter of fact, there is one. Give me a second. There is one. I just signed up for that. I wanted to watch the archives of, but there has been a bunch of wrestling shows that are now being on Twitch, and some people will say, well, what's the point of them doing that? Like, it's just Twitch is for a gaming thing. But lately, Twitch has just been doing things that's just not for gaming. It's open to everything as of late. And I'm trying to think where it was one wrestling. Right, so they used to have Wrestling Circus, which was, I think that was Sammy Callahan's wrestling organization, or he kind of like co-funded.
Yeah.
Then I said Impact. Then there was another one I just signed up for. I can't find it now, but they just they do their thing where they show on Twitch. Like, the reason why I bring that up is because they have a Shaolin monk as a wrestler. I wanna watch that because I saw like a clip of it and it actually looked funny. But my point is that, getting back to the WWE Smackdown, is it's not too far-fetched to have WWE stream on Facebook.
Oh yeah,
the idea can be there.
Internet streaming in general is pretty much I'm not gonna say it's the future, but it's getting to that point. Like, everything is pretty much streamed because the internet is so accessible nowadays. Like 10 or 15 years ago, cable been the way to go. But a perfect example is WWE Network is an internet-based service.
Oh, exactly.
So it's like all the pay-per-views in theory run through the internet. I mean, for some reason there are still outlets that sell it on pay-per-view. Why would you pay $60 for it? But yeah, it's like, so internet is the future. So yeah, it going on Facebook. I mean, it would have been probably more incisive for them to go on Facebook than Amazon. Because let's face it, not everybody in the world has an Amazon Prime, but every single person in the world has a Facebook. Regardless if you actually use it or not, everybody in the world at least has Facebook. To the point where for most websites, when you create an account on the website, what is the one common thing that you always see? Sign in with your Facebook account.
Exactly.
Because they're expecting you to have a Facebook account, because literally everybody has a goddamn Facebook. So, yeah, they could have went in there, but Fox ended up getting it. Now, one of the key things besides the whole money thing is that they're getting like basically $1 billion in the next over the 5 years of them airing it. But the real interesting thing I took out of this is that it's even though it's not 100% official, it's going to be moving to Fridays. So how do you feel about that?
Happened before, and it'll be interesting. You know what? So I'll say it like this: it'll be interesting, but sort of a break.
Yeah.
Because
we get like at least 3 days of wrestling in a row.
Yeah, we actually can.
You get Raw, SmackDown, NXT. Now it'll be Raw break, NXT break, SmackDown.
Yeah.
Now the real question is, I know back in the day it was tape. Will this be live? I mean, because again, mind you, this doesn't go into effect until October 2019. So they literally have a whole year to change around their schedule. If this were to go live, it's not that far fetched because they literally have a whole year to reroute their whole scheduling if it's going to be live. So I don't know.
That's actually a good question.
Will it do live? Because they do live events anyway.
I think it would be.
Because they do live events anyway on a Friday. So why not, like, just air it then? So, like, it's like, if you're going to do a live event on a Friday, for example, let me see. What's their live event on this Friday coming up? Yeah, Friday, June 1st. They're actually running 2 different live events. There's an NXT event in Spurburn, it doesn't matter. And then there's a Friday event. I'm assuming. Let me see which roster this is. Is it a Raw one or a SmackDown one? If it's already a SmackDown one, then yeah. This is a Raw tour on Friday. But my point is, they have a whole year to like figure this all out. So if they really wanted to, but the real question is, what about 205 Live? Now they could go. There's two ways they could go about to it. Now, because I did maybe that those live events all the way back then in January was more than what we thought they were. Maybe that was the test to see if they can just be by themselves. In like those smaller venues, if like it's a situation like this would happen. I mean, granted, what they could just simply do is just 205 Live is moving to Fridays and just airs after SmackDown as always, because I mean, for Fox it won't matter. SmackDown's gonna have to go off at 10 because of the news, but for the WWE Network it just still air on Fridays. So, and it's so many questions about like.
Also, you know what? Now that you say this, now here's something to think about. You just said that it will go off at 10 o'clock because of the news.
Yeah, what happened?
Now, yeah, here it'll go off here at 10 o'clock. There are some TV stations, like for instance the West Coast, who don't even have a 10 o'clock. Well, I won't say they won't have a 10 o'clock news. I feel like everyone in America has a somewhat of a 10 o'clock news, or every TV station, I have to say, has a 10 o'clock news. I think it's more the fact of when does it air, because there are some times where, not when does news air, when does SmackDown air, because just because it might air here at 8 o'clock,
yeah,
and then if it might be 8 o'clock here, since 7 Central, 6 West Coast, most likely, probably. There are other times where sometimes they'll tape it and then they'll air it on their time.
You're right. I mean, this isn't nothing new, because I don't know if you. I mean, you probably will remember. Remember back in like the UPN days where it used to air on UPN and CW. The one thing I always hated as a kid when it aired on those networks is that if there was a basketball game or a hockey game, they would literally make us wait the next day just to watch it. Like Saturday, like on or if it wasn't Thursday, it was Friday. And if it was Friday, it was Saturday.
The reason why is because the fact of they had priority.
Of course, take more. Yeah, of course. But that's my point. But will this, say if that's the thing?
Well,
is SmackDown a priority to Fox?
Well, I'll say more so of the fact of, I will say more of the fact of, I won't say priority. I would say more of.
If they're paying them $1 billion, it better be a priority.
No. I'm trying to think of the word I will use. Fox doesn't really air sports
anymore.
No, I'm not saying anymore. They don't air sports on Fridays.
The only probably the reason why they're giving him that day.
Oh, we just gave him that. Sorry. Now I'm watching Overwatch because I didn't know we were playing it now. But I mean Philadelphia. So, no, what I mean is because when Fox airs sports, they like, for instance, they don't really air baseball until fall, but they used to air baseball a lot, at least on the main Fox. They probably air. Oh, we want to lose this match. They've aired more on the Fox News channel. I mean, not Fox News channel, Fox Sports channel,
or
FS1, stuff like that. But trying to think. Well, I just lost my train of thought that something just happened. All right, so yeah, they'll air, for instance, the World Series on around October on Fox and whatnot. So, we'll see that being a problem. But then again, we're talking about 2019 here.
So yeah, like I said, they have a whole year.
Yeah,
they have more than a year to figure out what the hell they're doing.
And the thing is, I don't think, if you think about it, because it's not like, oh, they can just take it to one of their many sports channels. They're not going to, because not everybody's going to have.
Exactly, but everybody has Fox.
Yeah.
Regardless if you have cable or not. So that's my thing. That's the one thing you have to ask yourself: will SmackDown actually be live? Because, like, say there's a situation, like I said, like a baseball game or a football game, it just so happened at the air on a Friday. Will that take precedent over SmackDown? And if it does, say it was a live episode, what the hell is going to happen?
Yeah,
See? So it's like,
I mean, no, you're right. These are probably things that
interesting question, because it's like, say they had a live episode. Well, how the hell their viewers are supposed to see the live episode? Even though you were like save that day, like let's just say, for example, there was a SmackDown on 205 Live. Assuming 205 Live is pretty much follows suit to SmackDown on a Friday. There's a baseball game, so for 2 hours we're missing.
But like I said, they don't. The only time they can air, the only time they will probably air a baseball game is during the actual World Series or actual playoffs. So
that won't be like late October then.
Yeah, because that's like the main Fox channel doesn't do that until October. They have other networks. They can.
I mean, again, I don't watch the network TV, so yeah, I have no idea.
Then like I said, like, they don't really air sports on their sports channel other than football, and then the occasional college football when they do it, but it's not all the time.
All right then. Well, again, we're probably gonna be just as the news develops on this, we'll probably talk about it for the next year or so, because again, it won't be until October of 2019. So
it'll definitely be interesting.
In terms of wrestling news, I mean, again, you're more into the indies than I am. Any news on the indies?
I just saw that Ring of Honor's coming here in August. And I'm kind of contemplating do I want to go, because that's a week before one of the tournaments that we're having here. Oh, I will say this, because we haven't talked about, and you know what? I do want to talk about this because I joked with you last time about it, but I want to bring this up with you. So the last time we done this was before the all in sale.
Oh yeah.
And everything. Now, all in, of course, is sold out. Some people are speculating the fact of, well, is it sold out for real, or did scalpers buy it and now they're going to sell it at second-hand price, which is a good question. I don't know. I mean, that is a very good question, and I feel like there might be bootleggers that might sell on a second-hand website and stuff like that. That always happens on any of these type of events. But I don't think they care, because the thing is, we made our money. We did what we said we were going to do. We sold out.
At the end of the day, there was 10,000 tickets sold. So it's like, even if scalpers bought it, if nobody shows up, hey, we made the money. Who cares? That's how I look at it.
But the thing is, the Bullet Club is so fanatical, and what they have lined up seems so good. They already have one match already, which looks pretty amazing, and I had to give it to them. So I've been following the Being the Elite web show and stuff, and all kayfabe, yes, but I do feel like that the fact of they're entrusting something on the lines of Cody Rhodes doing this type of match, which I'm about to name. They just added this match. They're trusting him with this match, which is now it was supposed to be Cody Rhodes versus whoever is the NWA champion at the time, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, last night, or was it today? I think it was today. I don't know how to consider it, because it was announced over in the UK. They had like a UK show. it was announced that the NWA champion came to Ring of Honor and confronted Cody Rhodes after his match, and he told him, "Hey, listen, you want my belt, and you're a gambler. Well, that makes me that makes me somewhat of a gambler too, whatever. So here's the deal: you win your belt on the Ring of Honor belts, and then we do champion versus champion match. So if Cody Rhodes wins, then Cody Rhodes wins the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship and holds it until All In, which is September. Then him and I can't figure the champion's name of NWA at the moment, but the champion of NWA at the moment is going to win. Is going to go head to head in a champion versus champion match.
Got it. I mean, if you said this takes place before All In, correct?
Yes.
If he wins the belt, then that'll be an interesting story to go into All In. But as of right now, I heard they don't have. Is this actually gonna be broadcast, or is this just simply a live event?
See, that's another. This actually brings us right back to what we were talking about earlier. The rumor is it might be streamed on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rumor.
I mean, they could do it. I don't see why not. For them promoting the hell out of simply a live event just seems kind of bizarre, don't you think? I would at least expect them to attempt to put on some type of streaming service, even if it's not on TV, obviously. Just put it on what?
So, I feel like that Cody and Matt and Matt and Jeff, Matt and Nick or as you can tell, are very smart businessmen. They can figure out something. They will figure out something.
Huh. Well, I mean, is there any other news before All In?
No, that's about it right now. I was going to ask you about your little.
What do you call it? Oh, okay, yeah, I can address that. All right, so this is the first time I'm publicly addressing it. So when All In first sold out, right? The day it sold out, right? Because my brother is actually a subscriber to the Wrestling Observer, right? So Brian Alvarez, one of the people who runs Wrestling Observer, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's basically, the Wrestling Observer in general is just pretty much like a newsletter for pretty much. So if you are a fan of wrestling and you go on a wrestling news website and you read information, more than likely came from the Wrestling Observer. That's pretty much it. But as the All In event was sold out, Brian Alvarez, what got me a little just like I was intrigued with how he tried to dub this. Cause he was saying, "Oh, it's a success," which is it is a success. I'm not trying to spin it, but what he said was it was a success because this is the first time that a purely all independent show was able to sell out 10,000 what you call it? Well, 10,000 seat venue, and it's without any WE guys. And my whole thing isn't Cody Rhodes a WE? I mean, I know he's not a WE superstar now, but was he not a WE superstar? Matt and the Young Bucks aren't okay, but is it Cody Rhodes? So my whole thing I was trying to ask, I was just simply trying to ask him a question. Don't you find it ironic how, again, the three, because the main three people in the whole All In event is Cody and the Young Bucks, correct?
Yes, they're the main.
The main three people were like spearheading this. So I just simply said, don't you find it? I didn't mean it like in a mean way or anything. I wasn't trying to take anything away from it. I was just simply saying, I found it kind of ironic. Does you find it ironic how one of the people who are spearheading? Actually, I can pull up the tweet. Let me just pull up the tweet because I actually forgot what I said. How long ago was this?
About 2 weeks ago. You guys,
All right,
you got.
I usually don't tweet a lot on Twitter, so it shouldn't be hard to find. uh, where is it? What's it? Oh, don't you find ironic how purely all, I said quotation, purely all independent show that sold 10,000 tickets is spearheaded by a man who would have no name was for WWE. Now, when I said that, I wasn't trying to take anything away from Cody Rhodes. But the thing I just don't like about Brian Alvarez is he was trying to spin it into something that he makes it like, yes, the indies finally did it, like the independent scene again. But it's like, but one of the main people that were the selling points was a guy who's from WWE. And I mean, I'm not trying to say he would be a nobody if it wasn't for WWE. Look at AJ Styles, look at Samoa and Joe and them. But I'm just saying, his name alone is what people recognize him from WWE. So my whole point on it was they used the name. I mean, yes, I know Cody Rhodes is his name. Well, what is it? Cody Reynolds actually in real life, but it doesn't matter. They used the name that was from WWE to promote this event. That's all I was saying. But for some reason, my tweet got a lot more traction than I actually thought it would have. And here I thought nobody paid attention to me on Twitter. So
sometimes I tweeted something about the Royal. Apparently, it didn't do anything the first day, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's the thing. This was just simply a question. I didn't expect anything. I didn't expect them to actually reply to me. Like, it was simply a question.
But yeah, and then suddenly, but yeah, like I made a joke of saying, oh well, here's hoping that Megan, which I realized I spelled Megan wrong. But like, oh well, here's hoping that Megan and Harry doesn't open Jake the Snake's present. Anything, and I I put the gif of the thing where if you see the this is before your time, but back when because the whole joke was the only royal wedding I support or I watched was the royal wedding of Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah.
So that was like the whole joke. So then I had said, well, let's just hope that they don't open Jake the Snake's gift. Which in that same wedding they did the behind the scenes thing. They all married and everything. They went kayfabe wedding because they already been married. For some people who don't know, but as a kayfabe wedding, they married in the in the wrestling ring. Which you'll like this. This is old school WWF. This happened at I'm about to say Summer Jam. This is how much I'm thinking about video games.
Summer Jam.
Summer Slam, and the whole deal was a match made in heaven, which was the Macho Man, Miss Elizabeth wedding, which main evented, and a match made in hell, which was the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter and I think General Adnan or whatever his name was, but with Sid Justice as a special guest referee. This was also the same pay-per-view where the Ultimate Warrior was fired for the second time. Was it the second time or the first time? I want to say the first time.
I don't know.
No, this is the first. This is the first time because this is when he was asking for more money because he felt like he was making just as much as Hulk Hogan in merchandise, and he was asking for more money, and he held Vince McMahon under hostage, saying, I want more money from this, blah 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 blah. And Vince was like, you know what? I'll give you money. Gave him his money, and then fired him after that match.
Oh, damn.
And everything. But the thing was, Sergeant Slaughter wanted to break his legs because he didn't want to wrestle in the match. He's like, I'm not wrestling this match until you pay me my money.
Main event hostage, basically.
Pretty much. So yeah. So this man was like, you know what? I'll give you your money. And then after that, he's like, you're fired.
Well, Sarah's right.
But so back to the wedding. The wedding technically made the event. It was the last thing. So they went to and they went backstage. They had a little reception, and you had the box. And they oh, here's a present right here. Doesn't say who it's from. Then we got the present, and a snake came out. This is when Jake the Snake was had already turned heel, but a snake it came down. Miss Elizabeth screaming, "Oh my God, it's a snake!" And everything, and then the Undertaker attacked, and then the snake bit. It was a devenomized snake, but the snake actually bit Macho Man. That's how
that's where that scene keeps coming from.
Yes, and that's how they ended that thing. I made that
Wouldn't
jump.
that be the first time in WWE history that a pay-per-view event ends on a promo?
Not really, because it was a weird time where they were doing. Oh, I'm trying to think. Was WrestleMania? No, and here's why. Because WrestleMania 7, where I think it was WrestleMania 7, the main event was Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter for the title. And yes, that's exactly what it was. I'm trying to think how it went. Because Macho Man retired, but then he ended up not being Macho King, was Macho Man. Him and Shuri broke off and then went back to Miss Elizabeth, and they was in love. He was forced to retire from the Ultimate Warriors match, but then he ended up being engaged to Elizabeth, and then Elizabeth and Macho Man married to SummerSlam. But anyway, the Hulk Hogan match, Hulk Hogan won the belt, but he went backstage and everything, celebrating, went to his locker room, and apparently Sergeant Slaughter was already in the back locker room, and he threw a firebar at him. Huh. And he told him that you might have won the battle, but you didn't win the war, Hogan. I'll be back for my title and everything. And that's how that pay-per-view ended.
Okay.
I'm going on a tangent here. Back to you. What I was saying is that what I was going to say was, long story short, don't take yourself too seriously with the internet, especially Twitter.
Oh no, I wasn't. It's just I was actually, because when I woke up in the morning that day, all I keep hearing is my phone go off, and I'm thinking to myself, now nobody ever texts me, so is it like emails or something? And then all I see is Twitter, just straight Twitter. I was like, and there you go. I mean, I was responding to people's tweets, and they would say, "Oh, this is the stupidest thing I ever heard," whatever. I was like, again, I wasn't trying to like take anything with Cody. I just don't like when people are saying it's a purely all independent show where one of the names that are promoting this is a name that came from WWE. The Young Bucks, of course not. So there's one people, but again, Cody Rhodes, who again for most of his life was in the WWE, so. Just saying. That's all I was saying. You can interpret that how you like, but I didn't really mean anything by it. But I was just saying. But all right. Any other independent news?
Nah, not that I can think of.
Well, in terms of WWE news, apparently on AJ Lee's return, there's apparently a rumor going around about AJ Lee returning because somebody asked PW insider Mike Johnson about a potential return at AJ Lee when SmackDown begins to air on Fridays on Fox next year. How does that correlate with each other? Who knows? I didn't know. SmackDown moving to Fridays on Fox meant AJ Lee returning.
I don't know. That sounds kind of like clickbait.
Like, but I mean, the guy said they aren't going to plan out that far in advance. It's just how business works. AJ Lee mentioned in her book that she chose to get out of the ring due to physical issues. It was not an issue with CM Punk and WWE, although she probably felt like the child in the middle of a divorce at that point. That was a weird year, wasn't it? When CM Punk left, and AJ Lee was still there, it was like, huh. And don't you find that interesting how like WWE didn't really bury her despite the
Well,
fact that CM Punk left?
The
Because
onus was on CM Punk, and now AJ. There's one
no,
thing
yeah, but it shows at least it shows the professionalism of WWE to a point. Like they're not gonna try to say what they for fuck CM Punk and fuck AJ Lee, even though they pretty much did when they purposely made Nikki Bella end her longest reigning reign as Divas Champion. But hey, that's another story.
It's another story for another day. My thing is clickbait because I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, of course not.
I feel like she's happy doing what she's doing, and not worrying about risking herself for injury and stuff like that.
And it's like it's one of those things where it's like too late. We already have established like new women here, so it's like AJ Lee returning. I feel like she would be in the same position as Mickie James is, where it's like, yeah, she's a veteran, but she's obviously not the focus point. So why even bring her back if she's not even the focus point? So just to like spread out, because they literally have 10 women on each roster, so they have enough women to like throw around. So there's that. What other news? I don't think that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not besides. I mean, the main story is really just the Fox deal. There's nothing. Oh, Ryback blames CM Punk for his debut.
Man, I don't listen. I don't care.
About Ryback.
No. Okay. Here's the thing. Ryback has I would say a grudge against CM Punk ever since that CM Punk that he did back with Colt Cabana, which those two not even friends anymore. But
what happened? Well, no, yeah, wait. I don't know about that part. What happened there?
Colt Cabana was backstage at a WWE show around the time where CM Punk was doing this lawsuit, and Punk kind of took that as like a dude, what the fuck? Yeah, like a dude, what the fuck?
I mean, when Vince McMahon calls, that's all I have to say.
Well, I mean, he was just backstage. he was backstage to view, like a friend probably invited him to backstage. I know. It wasn't like Vince told him, "Hey, come backstage for a little bit."
Yeah, he probably did. He blindsided him. It was like one of those cinematic events where it's like he called him backstage and Punk was there. He was like, "Colt, Punk, no, Punk, it's not what it looks like." And he saw him like Vince McMahon shaking his hand.
I don't think we got that deep.
I don't know, but yeah, I actually had no idea they were even friends anymore.
Yeah, so, but when CM Punk did the interview with him, he pretty much sounded like how, and this was true. I remember this, how Ryback, kind of fucked things up or fucked him up. Like for instance,
he got him injured.
He injured him and everything, and he got mad at the fact of like him pretty much telling him like, yeah, he's unsafe. He fucking threw me off of the thing, and he was supposed to land on the table. I clearly remember that because I actually sat there and went, that wasn't supposed to be like that. And I'm like, he was supposed to land on the table, and he landed on the ground.
But yeah, there was the CM Punk info. So take what you will from Ryback. Don't you find it ironic how for someone who hates CM Punk so much, he pretty much followed him in terms of leaving WWE where he did the exact same thing?
Ryback has been on CM Punk's jock for the longest.
That's what I said. I just find it ironic.
And the sad part is, I don't think Punk cares.
I don't think
he really does not care if what he does.
Because he literally left the same way.
Not just that. Remember, it was one pay-per-view. I think one of like a couple of his last pay-per-views, and he goes, he did the whole it's covering time because it was in. It's like, oh, it's covering time. Wake up! And it's like, okay, so you're doing CM Punk's.
Yep.
You're doing CM Punk's little thing that he does. That's nice. Why do you keep thinking about this man, and this man doesn't think about you? You're not even a blip. You're not even a blip on his radar.
That's
and
one of
you're
his
sitting
best
here.
feuds, though. You have to admit, CM Punk versus Ryback. You don't remember that feud, Ron?
I remember that feud. It just made Ryback look good.
Because the only thing that I will agree with him with, which is not much, but the one thing I will agree with what Ryback said, because I read it. Yeah, they were pushing him more than they should have. Remember, like, the month between, like, it's just like during the Hell in a Cell time, where even John Cena took a step back just to let Ryback in the main event.
Oh, yeah, and look.
Yeah, so that's the one thing. But Ryback admits he shouldn't have done that. So I will agree with him on that one. But other than that,
done that because the thing is, the main reason why is because for some odd reason he got over fast. Feed Me More apparently got over way fast. You know the difference between him and someone like Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
Okay, like Braun Strowman is extremely fucking over. The same as that time. He was over with Ryback. The difference between Ryback and Braun Strowman, Braun Strowman's not letting it get to his head.
Yeah, he knows his position. So
because I can say this: when Ryback was getting that little bit of fame, that little bit of notoriety and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He let it get to him.
But yeah, so that's the Ryback story. So, yep. Now I completely before we actually I apologize, guys. I apologize, everyone, because before we actually get into the reviews, I completely forgot about this bit of news, and I use the term news loosely because I don't really know how to describe it because we've been gone for 2 weeks. But hey, when it comes to relationship, a lot can happen in 2 weeks. So let's talk about John Cena and Nikki Bella, shall we?
Can we not?
Because like for the 2 weeks we haven't done this podcast.
We're not TMZ. We don't have to.
Well, yeah, we don't have to. But I just want to bring I think the funniest thing I had to bring up was the Today Show when John Cena was on there. I thought that was absolutely hilarious because the thing with John Cena, you don't know if he's being real or not. So when he was like pretty much begging on his knees for Nikki Bella to come back, I don't know if he was actually genuine or not.
Because he's
I couldn't
tell. Listen, can I just say this and then we can
yeah, we can move on.
Yeah, okay. So I'll say it like this. It's for the show.
Yep. Probably. I do find it convenient how it all like they got back together like the day before Total Bellas premiered.
Apparently they broke up while filming. Okay, and we're just finding out about it a week after WrestleMania. But apparently they broke up before that. That was the story. What? And now you got this whole the next Total Bellas. Now that we're so close to the wedding, what's going to happen now? Come on, it's for the ratings. You know how
it's still rude to them. It's still rude to them.
It's so bad. It's just, and the thing is that while we all laughed about it, we all thought that okay, this might be a real deal. This is a real. No, when word starts getting out about it, you want to know how bad it got?
How bad did it get?
When even the WWE starts.
I know the second, that's what killed it for him. The second that WWE.com reported on it, it was like, okay.
Yeah, like
And that's what killed it for him. If WWE didn't mention it at all, then it would have been like, well, maybe it could be real. Because usually WWE acknowledges these kind of things. But maybe it actually could be real. No. But yeah, the second they acknowledged could Cena and Nikki be back. Because the first time they reported Cena and Nikki broke up, okay. That was like, well, that came out of left field. And it could have been real or not. Because one of those things, the WWE website is like the most bizarre website you can go on.
I just shut my Twitter. More Total Buzz is coming your way right now on the Warren WWE Network. It's all for the show.
No, but you have to admit though, Ron, the WWE website is like the most bizarre website to go on because you don't know when they're actually real or not.
Yeah, you're right.
Until they say like a superstar is released, and then it's like, okay, that's real. But everything is like you just don't know what's real. So when they said they broke up, it was like, oh, I guess I had to take with a grain of salt because every other website's reporting on it. But then the second they decided to report on as well, are they back together? Okay.
Also,
because they would never even mentioned it after that.
No, you're right. Also, I do have one more bit of news that we should talk about.
Well, then I am also did too. Can completely skip my mind, but go ahead first.
Well, what you want to talk about, Enzo?
Actually, no. I was going to talk about a completely different subject, but actually, we can talk about Enzo first, though.
Okay, so as some of y'all probably have heard, Enzo has been completely exonerated from his charges. Mm-hmm. Turns out, bitch was lying. I don't mean to call her that. That's a mean thing.
No, I would call her that because as I don't remember what episode we did it on, but as I thoroughly said,
we both did.
She's a bitch because again, she cost this man. I mean, because again, my whole point with Enzo, he was already on thin ice with the company, and she single-handedly cost his job.
What they're trying to say is, and this is the one thing I will agree on. Okay, the one thing I will agree on. If there was something going on with your employee, and this goes for any job, I said this back then. If there was something going on with your employee, you're supposed to let them know. Listen.
I know, and I will agree with that. But my whole thing with but the one thing that I was trying to tell you is like he probably didn't tell them about it because he probably knew it wasn't true. But again, it doesn't change the fact he should have told him. And B, again, he was already on thin ice.
Well, here's the thing though. Okay, when you say something to them, they could come up with something. Because apparently all this happened around right before
he became champion.
No, right before he was sent to 205 Live in the first place.
Ew.
So think of it like this. They could have took him off of TV. They could have been like, okay, so you have the situation here. We don't want you if this ever gets out, which it didn't really get out till late, yes, but just in case, if it gets out, then we don't want them. We don't want to we don't want the audience to know. They could have probably, I don't know, do the whole injury rule thing from where, okay, you're injured, it will take you off of TV until all this blows over. Which it didn't. Which you can always say he blew out an ACL, and he's and this whole thing will be over by a certain amount of time for where, he's back now. But he's on 205 Live now. But the thing is, you didn't say anything to your bosses.
Yes, I will admit.
And that's what got him fired. It wasn't the fact of, and you're right, he was skating on thin ice as is. But if you know that you're skating on thin ice, you still should at least listen. I have something going on. There's an investigation. I know I didn't do it. But I feel like I should let you know there's an investigation on me about this, and I'm letting you know this now before it gets to the media and blah 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 blah.
The way I see it is that Enzo probably knew about it. The way he looked at the situation was either I can tell them and whatever. Because they're already sending me. I'm not saying 205 Live is the motion, but they're already sending me to a completely another division to test
But
something out with me. But either I can tell them this and just ruin all their plans that they already have set for me. Because let's be real. Literally after SummerSlam, the Cruiserweight division was all Enzo. So it goes to show how much
I mean, you're
had
right.
devoted for Enzo Amore because
You're,
205
you're
Live
right.
literally became the Enzo show. So it's like it's just
And you're right about that, but still, the
it's
best.
not like he was like Cedric Alexander, for example, where he was literally doing nothing. So it wouldn't have mattered if this came out. I mean, I'm talking about at that point in time, let's say Alexander, who wasn't really doing anything, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have either wrote him off, or I'm not saying he would have got fired, but it's like, but if you have someone like Enzo, where they literally for like the next, they probably had plans for him up until WrestleMania.
You're right, and that's it. You're absolutely right about that. It's just the fact of like, you still gotta let somebody know. That's just like your parole officer when you get in trouble for something, or and your parole officer is like, listen, I'm going out of town because my little nephew is graduating from such and such state, and I want to go see him. I know I have this brace on me, but can I get the permission to visit my little nephew? And if your parole officer is nice enough, or if you haven't done anything to make your parole officer be like, I don't trust you out of going out of state or anything like that, then he'll let you go. But you gotta let him know. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going out of town about letting my PO officer know, because then your PO officer is gonna be like, where was you at? Your thing showed you that you wasn't at home. When we came here, you wasn't at home. Where were you at? You know? And then you're in more trouble than you already is.
True,
So,
but I feel like at that point, and the way Enzo saw it was, again, I'm not speaking for the guy, but I'm assuming his frame of mind was, well, either I can just let this run its course and whatever happens, or tell them now and just ruin all my plans, or ruin all the plans that they had. So
I would risk it. I will risk it just to say, listen, I'm letting you know what's going on right now, because just in case. That's how I would. I would.
But I think Enzo's not. I'm not trying to bash Enzo, because I actually did like the guy. Despite what people said about 205 Live, the way I looked at Enzo Amore, he finally put eyes on the division that I actually cared about. People actually took, whether it was a good way or a bad way, people actually started paying more attention to 205 Live because Enzo Amore. So, and I liked him for that. So, I mean, I know he couldn't wrestle for shit, but hey, the E stands for entertainment in WWE. So. He was entertaining.
But back to my point where I was saying the whole rape allegations. When we had when we both read this on the podcast, when we both read what was going on, we both said there is something about the story that doesn't add up.
Yep.
Okay, we both said it, like there's something about this story.
Sense.
Yeah, like something about this that's not adding up here, and it proved out to be true. I mean, some people.
No. What? No. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said there's just some people out there who are okay, and I hate to bring. And I promise we're going to talk about wrestling in the next couple of minutes. I hate to bring this up though, but this whole thing with Morgan Freeman and whatever.
Yes.
Now, the thing with this is, I kind of overheard. I mean, not overheard. So the person was talking. She did like an interview, and she was talking about what was said to him, or what he said to him, or what Morgan Freeman said to her, and everything like that. That he felt this type of way, or anything, blah blah blah. And they ran back the interview, and it was probably about. The thing was said was like, oh well. One time, Michael Caine had said something about this person who she thought was pregnant, and he wasn't pregnant. She was just a big person, and he he goes, well, I wish I was there to see that. But she trying to take it as he was saying, oh, you're pregnant. Well, I wish I was there to see that happening. As if he wanted to be there to see her have sex and get pregnant. And it's like, but it's like when you see that, it's
context.
Like, yeah, but you see you see this interview, you're just like, I don't know. I don't think he meant no. So I mean, look, that's just one thing. That's just one thing, and then into another. But my point is this whole story, when we both said it with Enzo, just didn't make sense.
Yes.
And said there was something about it that just did not make sense, and we're just like, okay. So we'll see how this goes, if it's played right or not, and it was. And apparently now he's off the hook.
But now he's out of a job.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. It doesn't change the fact. I'm sorry, this woman. I'm not saying she should go to jail, but she has to get some type of penalty out of this.
Well,
you cost this man
his
job.
I feel like they will, because I think the lawyers. I think his lawyers.
Like, dude, like no, like just because no, like no. I mean, like think about it, like no, but like say that was you, for example. Like you just have to look at it from a perspective, regardless of what type of job field it is. Like whatever. If you know something's not true and the person try to put blame on you so much so that you get fired from your job, and now it's like you knew you were innocent, and now after all of this, what are you getting out of this? Your job back? No. You lost your job for nothing. Because somebody was just being mean. That's simply all it was.
I mean, it sucks, but it sucks on both, you know. I'm just answering this. It sucks on both ends, but it's. I mean, yeah, he's out of a job now, yes, but you know he'll find a way to bounce back. If anything, maybe not wrestling, maybe he might do an announcing for, you know.
But like, why should that have been an alternative?
It shouldn't be an alternative in the first place. But like I said, I mean, before,
it's one of those.
It's all about the fact that you didn't say anything. That's
true, and again, that will always be his. Yeah, he will always have fault with that. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, there's nobody to blame but him for that one. So
yeah, that's all it is. That's all I look at it is the fact of like they fired him not because of what he did. They fired him because
they didn't say anything. Fair point. Because what's funny about that? An actual same situation happened at my job with this girl. I won't go into I'm not gonna say her name or anything, but pretty much to sum up what happened was, she was to put a long story, it's a long story, but to put a long story short, employee this was like a year ago, but employee was seeing this customer, right? Came every day. I even knew the person. He came every day. Just got simply a large coffee, cream, and sugar. That was it. Turns out he was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And the pastor had a wife. And the wife knew nothing about this.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, we didn't know anything about this either. So one day during a night shift, apparently we were told by our night shift crew, the woman came up to our job with a gun looking for her. The wife came up looking for one of our employees. And thankfully she wasn't working that day because she usually does night shift. And then once we found that out, we had to let her go because, again, up until that point, we knew nothing what was going on.
I mean, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do because it's weird.
Yeah.
Can you not bring your personal problems to
that's my point. And so from that perspective, I understand why WWE did what they had to do, but now it's like you're never gonna bring them back to the company.
Well, yeah,
because y'all didn't like them anyway. It's like, how is that fair?
I mean, it's not like they didn't like. It's not like they didn't.
No,
like
they didn't like him. that he was just a draw. That's simply all they saw him was just money, which he was. But
we don't like you. We don't like you, but for some reason you're fucking making us money. We can't be mad about that.
Yeah, but don't you find the one thing I just want to point on this Enzo subject is, don't you find it a little interesting? Had Enzo not have gotten fired, this goes to show how much of an investment Enzo Amore was to their whatever long-term WWE booking. If Enzo would have never got fired, Nia Jax would have never became Raw Women's Champion. Because she was doing something with Enzo.
Don't remind me. But yeah, you're right. Actually,
that's the point.
When you think about it, there's a lot of things that
would have never happened if Enzo would have never got fired.
Because remember that. Well, I just go off and say it. 205 Live probably wouldn't be the best it is right now.
And that's the only part I want to bring up. Yes, pretty much Enzo had to die for our sins for 255 to be better. Because it's kind of fucked up saying that, but
no, but it's the truth, because when you look at it, it's like now it's like 205 Live when Enzo was there was this campy, cartoonish thing every day.
Because they turned what was supposed to be the main focal point of supposed to be wrestling instead into entertainment to benefit their main star, which was Enzo. I mean, whatever makes the money, I guess, and I guess it was someone working, but it sacrificed the integrity of the brand, which I understood. Trust me, I understood, but it was for the betterment of the brand, I guess, at the time.
I mean, the only good thing about it is that the other Davari guy was getting some TV time, being part of it. Yeah. Other than that, it's like,
well, if it wasn't for Enzo, Drew Gulak wouldn't be in this position right now.
True. Yeah, you're.
That's the thing. So, like, Enzo, in all honesty, he did help some of these cruiserweights actually have characters. So,
or did you
give him that?
Yeah. Other than that, it's just like it was still cartoony. It was like it reminded me of old school WWF that worked in the 90s, but not now. It's like you have your good guys and you have your. I mean, yes, wrestling's going to have your heroes in your face, but this was the cartoon version of it, from where it's like, oh, you have your all your good guys, your five good guys fighting the good fight for the goodness of good, versus the bad guys who will fight the bad fight or whatever, blah blah blah. It just
no. I get what you're saying. Pretty much Enzo was a sacrifice, but the story I wanted to talk about was just a report. It was just simply a report, but I was running the rounds like last week, I believe, that we pretty much gave up on their tag team division.
Yeah, I heard. I've heard about this, and I
mean, it.
I hope it's not true, but
have merit, because remember I only pointed out briefly. I was like, did you find ironic how none of the tag team titles were on the pay-per-view at all?
Actually, I do you one better. It's something that I just read. Sandy was supposed to make this appearance about a week ago.
Don't remind me.
About a week or so ago.
It's like maybe this report has more merit than what we're giving them credit for.
Remember the last thing that we talked about before we took a break on the podcast was during that week behind. Oh my God, I forgot we got to talk about this when it comes up.
Oh, the New Day?
No, the fucking Sami Zayn thing. Oh God.
Oh yes. We were talking about. I was like, this could either go one or two ways, and it went the way you expected it.
Oh, I forgot we gotta.
The only good thing about it is like they're actually going forward with my Bobby Lashley character, where he's just a sociopath.
But what I was going to say was that, remember, they have to. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm having like Vietnam flashbacks about that whole segment.
What?
But what I was going to that Sami Zayn segment. Yeah. Anyway, what I was about to say was when they showed that Bobby Lashley interview on TV,
and I still don't know what that was.
Okay,
Something.
in the arena, they showed
The Office of Pain.
the Office of Pain wrestling a bunch of
Jobbers.
yeah, a bunch of jobbers. Yeah, a bunch of jobbers. But since then,
They haven't appeared.
no. And then SmackDown, the last SmackDown tag team. I mean, I won't say it's completely dead, but at the same time, it's like we haven't seen Matt and Bray in about 2 weeks.
Besides promos.
Yeah, besides the promos and stuff. We haven't seen.
For God's sake, even Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre fought it was just simply one-on-one match between him and Chad Gable.
Yeah, and we haven't even seen the Bludgeon Brothers other than
promos
and stuff like that. The last tag team match that they had, I think, was the 3-way tag match. Oh no, they had the B team, which is like a funny thing.
That's actually fucking hilarious. I will give them that.
Versus Breezango.
No. Well, I don't like that part. The fact that Breezango's jobbing out to him, I don't like that part. I just find the B team just it's one of those scenarios where it's like, how does this stuff get over? But it does.
It is.
They must be pulling like their hair out. How can this bullshit get over, but not Roman Reigns? Like you have to feel sometimes. I mean, I do feel for Vince McMahon because it's like this stupid shit that is clearly never supposed to get over, like Rusev Day, for example. Like it gets over, but the main thing you want to get over, which is Roman Reigns, doesn't get over. How does this work?
And you try so hard. Okay, we might as well just get into Raw now. So
all right, so Raw. It opened the show with Kurt Angle, the most incompetent GM in history.
But as you say that, does it really just look like that Kurt Angle is confused
he's the most incompetent GM ever.
Like he just seems like everything is like I don't know. like he's crying on the inside, like I don't know what I'm doing.
Like he's a dumbass. For example, again, the Superstar Shakeup, for example. How do you give away Jeff Hardy if he just won the United States title? Your overall superstar.
Well, at the same time, I knew that was going to happen.
I get logically they had no choice, but just from a storyline perspective, why? You literally have both championships on your brand. You could have just said, fuck you, Smackdown. And whatever, but it's just, I don't know. But yeah, Craig opened the show. He was doing a bunch of announcements that we already knew, like a contract signed between Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey and whatnot. Then Stephanie returned. We haven't seen Stephanie on TV since Ronda Rousey broke her arm at the Raw after WrestleMania. She was talking about stuff how I don't really know what the hell she was talking about. Oh, because she was talking about how she feels though Kurt Angle is biased towards his decisions and stuff, which makes her the new person to oversee the contract signing for Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. And who to come out than Roman Reigns? Of course. Because Roman Reigns has to insert himself into every situation that doesn't involve him. This don't you find that weird how this had nothing to do with Roman Reigns, but is Roman Reigns a face? You have to ask yourself that question. He somehow made this about himself because while they were talking about the contract signing, he was talking about Jinder Mahal.
He was trying to become a face, but I'll give you one better. If someone said this and how what they're trying to do. Once again, this might be before your time, but there was a time where Diesel went to Diesel had went to his whole phase of I'm a good guy, but I have an attitude. Because this is around the time where Owen Hart had put Shawn Michaels on the shelf. Now, real reason, I think Shawn Michaels was suspended because he got into a fight with the Marine. This is at the start of many things that old Shawn Michaels used to have because he used to get to a lot of shit back when he was younger, and everything. So one of the main reasons why he's a born again Christian, but he got into a thing where he was like he had to force himself put himself into somewhat of a semi-retirement because Owen Hart gave him an enziguri, which, by the way, I've never seen the enziguri done before, and I thought it was the best thing I've ever saw in my life. It's like it's a kick counter. You do the enziguri, you hold the thing and then you smack it back in the head. And when I saw Owen Hart do that, I'm just like, wow, I've never seen that before. And that was awesome. And then he did it to Shawn Michaels, but apparently it gave Shawn Michaels a concussion and he wasn't able to wrestle. I think this my smile thing.
Oh, that's I was legit about to ask that.
I think that was around the same as that time. But the main thing was that he gave him insecurity and he kind of had to stop wrestling for a while. I think it was around the same as that time. I can look that up as I'm talking. Anyway, Diesel decided to go, okay, well, I don't want to do anything on Hart about this. I'm going to still be a good guy. I'm just not gonna play by the rules, and I'm going to handshake people. You know how you used to do the tagging and stuff coming down the aisles. I'm going to handshake people who are wearing a black glove. Okay. And if you're wearing a black glove, then yeah, I'm gonna shake your hand and anything like that. If you're not wearing a black glove, I'm going to ignore you. Okay, so I'm reading this now. All right, so actually, so I might be I'm a little wrong about this. Hold on, I'm trying to. Yeah, that's all. Okay, no, so it wasn't that, but it was 93. Michael was suspended for testing positive for steroids. A charge he never admitted on WWE programs. The suspension was explained why he neglected to defend the title so often. After turning down World Championship Wrestling's advances, he returned to WWF television in November, set the tune for Jerry Lawler, who was dealing with legal issues. That match put him against himself in 3 of Lawler's nights against the Hart brothers. Okay, so that wasn't that. He had split with. All right, here we go. All right, it says around this time, Michaels became the. This is around the Click, so I was somewhat about this. Around this, all right, Michaels returned to the ring as a fan favorite in '95, which go to defeat Jeff Jarrett to win his 3rd Intercontinental belt at In Your House. This led to the title defense against Razor Ramon at SummerSlam. That match was Michaels' run. Around this time, Michaels became a leader of the backstage group known as the Click. Critics perceived the group as a significant clout of WWF owner Vince McMahon, becoming a dominant wrestling figure in the WWF for several years in the mid-90s, causing friction with other wrestlers. Michaels disputes the specification, saying that McMahon push only deserved wrestlers. Michaels' fan base was later named the Click as an inside reference to the real Click. So remember the whole time he was calling his fans the Click. Okay, once again, this is before your age. He was calling his fan base the Click. Apparently, that was the kayfabe, was us fans being the Click, which was what he did was called backstage. Anyway, in October '95, Michaels. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Michaels was the victim of a legit assault outside a bar in Syracuse, New York. This is when he was fighting the Marine. Due to not being able to compete, because the Marine kicked his ass. Being able not to compete, Michaels was forced to forfeit the Intercontinental belt to his original opponent, Dean Douglas, in your house, who in turn Douglas lost to Razor Ramon, another member of the Click. There's a event cited. So that was the That was the event that cited the example of the Click holding each other down. During the match with Owen Hart on November episode of Raw, Hart performed an enziguri that struck on the back of Michael's head. They continued the match when Michaels collapsed in the ring. Supposedly, he has to suffer a concussion. This concussion was scripted, which kept most of the fans at the time. A retirement angle was written so that Michaels would take time off from an injury too soon. That was around the time where he had said, I sort of lost my smile. This was starting to lead up to it, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this was also around the time when Diesel was like, I'm a good guy, but I have an attitude thing. That is what Roman Reigns is doing right now. I'm sorry I had to backtrack this whole thing about this, but that's exactly
to get to the point. Hey, when it comes to Roman Reigns, you have to do stuff like this. So,
but that's exactly what he's doing right now. He has to go. He's doing the whole. I'm still a good guy, but I play by my own rules, kind of thing. And it's like, for most people, you sit there and you go, oh, okay, well that's unique. For me, it's like, this has been done so well. This has been done already. Oh my God.
I mean, my favorite bit out of all of this was when, for somehow, some way, only Roman Reigns can do something like this. He somehow got into the conversation Brock Lesnar, and the second he said Brock Lesnar, did you see how Stephanie reacted? She was like, "Oh God," because he's doing this again. Because he was like, yeah, well, you know who's not here? Brock Lesnar. What does he have to do with any of this? Nothing.
Well, it's
nothing.
It's them trying to make them remember, I'm not the bad guy here. He is.
But what does he have to do with the contract signing? Because let's not forget what this was originally about.
Did you hear? Yeah, I know, but did you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
They're trying to make him remember, I'm not the bad guy here. Brock Lesnar is.
Oh yeah, good luck with that one. But yes, Kevin Owens eventually came out, and he was trolling Roman Reigns. He was like, I think we should be chanting "Thank you, Roman" and whatever, which was kind of funny. And the bizarre thing happened. So Kevin Owens put out a good point about Stephanie. He was saying, "See, Stephanie's unbiased, despite the fact that I beat up both her brother and her father. She still hired me," which got her upset. But my whole thing is, why are you upset about this now? But you still hired him.
Well, I can't say a double-edged sword, but it's more the fact of, I'm hiring you despite Kurt Angle. I don't like you. Because you did beat up my brother and you did beat up my father. But she didn't
like him to the point that she allowed him to be in the Money in the Bank qualifying match where he ended up winning?
Because he knows that it spites Kurt Angle. And anything to spite Kurt Angle makes her happy just as much. As I say, it's true for her. If you look at it for her, it's a double-edged sword. It's like, I don't like him because he did just beat up my brother and my father. But I fucking hate Kurt Angle. He made me lose at WrestleMania and unleashed Ronda Rousey on my arm. I guess I'll go ahead and do the one thing he doesn't want me to do.
I mean, I guess we can put it like that. Yeah. So that led into a match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. This was a fine match, but it ended via DQ because Jinder Mahal, who I personally feel like, don't you find it weird how Jinder Mahal is technically the face in this feud?
Well,
because again,
you say that.
No, because let's make, because we weren't here for 2 weeks. Roman Reigns was in a triple threat match between Sami Zayn and I want to say Elias. No, Finn Balor. No, I'm tripping. Who was
it's Finn Balor.
Was
Finn
it?
Balor.
Oh yeah, because Finn Balor won. There you go. Between Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. Jinder Mahal interfered. Now, mind you, triple threat is no disqualification, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't know when that started, but apparently it is.
yeah, triple threat is no disqualification. So Jinder Mahal doing what he did was completely legal, or even it was a dick move. So he calls Roman Reigns to match, and there you go. Roman Reigns decides to do. Despite that, it's instead of him just doing the exact same thing to Jinder, he decided to personally take it upon himself to destroy Jinder Mahal backstage to make sure he couldn't compete. And then when he said he was still going to compete despite the adversity that Roman Reigns beat him, he made it sound like he was the face. Like he's doing this against all the odds that Roman Reigns put against him. Then he speared him to a wall. Who looks like more of a dick here?
Like I said,
It's like
a good guy, but with an attitude.
But I guess I already tried to do it. And then Seth Rollins came out eventually to a tag team match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens and Jinder Mahal. And Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins ended up winning. But after the match, Jinder Mahal attacked him, both of them, with chairs. So there was that. Any thoughts on that segment?
Well, when you say that Jinder Mahal is the good guy here, you're halfway right and halfway wrong. And the reason why I say that is because people still don't like Jinder Mahal. It's not because of him being the heel. Is that Jinder? He's not the best wrestler, and a lot of people still think that he should be tested a little better than what he probably is being tested, because that back acne says a lot. There's a lot of back acne. So he's not like a face from where everyone's like, I mean, yeah, people are like, oh yeah, thank you for saving us for making Roman not being the Money in the Bank. But then you guys sit there and go, oh crap, there's going to be a feud with Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal. Come on, we asked for this, you know.
The main event.
I said, I'm like, oh, this is going to happen, isn't it? I don't want this to happen right now.
And lo and behold, they officially announced that Money in the Bank, it will be Roman Reigns taking on Jinder Mahal.
It better not be fucking main event.
It's going to be the main event. Because the same reason why Roman Reigns was in the main event last month, despite the fact that he didn't have a championship. Because at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is the main event. How the hell? No, because let's backtrack all the way to WrestleMania for a second. How did Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar take precedent over the Royal Rumble winner? Think about that for a second.
Well, we said this how many times now?
Yeah, but it's like, but that's the point. It makes no sense. But because it's Roman Reigns, there you go. So Backlash, what was the reason? Because let's just put kayfabe to a second. We didn't know the ending to that WWE Championship match. So by all logic, even if it ended that way, it still should have been the main event. Because at the end of the day, it's the WWE Championship. Let's just pretend like this show's not scripted for a second. By default, the WWE Championship match should have been the main event. But yet, Roman Reigns was the main event.
Didn't we say this before?
Yeah.
That whoever wins the Royal Rumble gets the opportunity to go on second. To Roman Reigns.
Yeah, well, yeah. And did
we say that like the only other time that Roman Reigns, the only other time Roman Reigns will win the Royal Rumble is when you know he's automatically going to be the main event?
The last time Roman Reigns did a main event WrestleMania 30 when he was still part of the Shield conveniently. What does that say? Ever since breaking up with the Shield, he has main evented every single WrestleMania since. Title or not title.
I mean,
what does that say?
For fuck's sakes, we read the report that they have the next couple of WrestleManias already down for him being. He's pretty much like Hulk Hogan. From where Hulk Hogan.
But why?
Because I mean,
he doesn't sell. I guess I should say he doesn't sell. He does sell clearly, but
even seeing the main event that much.
WrestleMania's in a year.
WrestleMania.
I know.
Okay, but I'll once again I'm showing my age here. Since WrestleMania 1, hold on. Let me look this up. Because I want to make sure that I get this right.
Well, as you're looking it up, I guess I could just. Nah, I'd rather wait because the next segment is the favorite segment that we're going to talk about, which is the sister segment.
No. Okay. I'm going. So what I'm looking up right now is WrestleMania and how many that's how many times Hulk Hogan main evented. Okay, so all right, WrestleMania 1 and 2. WrestleMania 1 was Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper versus Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper. Then WrestleMania 2, you kind of can call it a triple main event because that's when they had the WrestleMania
shit at 3
different locations.
At the end of the day, it was Hulk Hogan versus
King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy, yeah.
Okay, so that's 2. WrestleMania 3 was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Now, WrestleMania 4 was Randy Savage versus Ted DiBiase for the vacant WWE title, but that storyline started with the Mega Powers for a damn near whole year, which went from WrestleMania 4 to WrestleMania 5 damn near, where Hulk Hogan was still in the picture, because God forbid Hogan can let Randy Savage handle this shit on his own. But it was WrestleMania 5 was Savage versus Hogan. Then WrestleMania 6 was Warrior versus Hogan. WrestleMania 7 was Slaughter versus Hogan. WrestleMania 8 was Hogan versus Sid Justice, and that wasn't for the title. The title match for WrestleMania 8 was Savage and Flair. If you can remember that. I keep forgetting I'm older than you. The championship match at WrestleMania 8 was Savage versus Ric Flair.
Yes.
But the main event was Hogan versus Sid Justice because they were counting this they were first counting this as
main event.
No, there wasn't counting the main event. They was counting this as potentially Hulk Hogan's last match because this is around the time when Hogan was talking about leaving the first time, right? Then WrestleMania 9, which was Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart, and it was Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart. And then Yokozuna won, but then Hulk Hogan was like, "Hey, wait, you cheated. What are you doing? You cheated. No, you cheated. No, I'm gonna come in here now. No, I'm gonna wrestle you now, Yokozuna. No, I'm gonna wrestle you now. I'm gonna be the champion." And he beat Yokozuna. So you took away both Bret Hart and Yokozuna's finest moment, which, by the way, that match was actually the best thing on that match because WrestleMania 9 was awful.
And actually, I'm glad you pointed that out because I love how people will always say Nakamura could be the first Japanese Daiwi champion. What about Yokozuna?
Well, Yokozuna's not
Japanese. I know, but in terms of Daiwi universe, he is a Japanese superstar. The same way Jinder Mahal is an Indian superstar, despite the fact he's Canadian. So yes, Nakamura will not be the first Japanese Daiwi champion. That honor went to Yokozuna. But yeah. Let's talk about the sisters.
Do we have to? I
mean, because I don't know what there is to talk about. Sami Zayn came out. He said he was going to expose. The only thing I have to give Sami Zayn credit, what made me crack up about the promo, just Sami Zayn's dedication to this. Because
You
when
know
Bobby
why?
Lashley came out, and he was like, I don't know. The thing with Bobby Lashley, I don't know if he was being serious or not. With if like was he just taking the piss that he knew that wasn't his sisters, or he actually thought that was his sisters? I don't know.
No, it's neither of those. It's effing. You want to keep a job, Sammy? Then act like this is
Real,
what we're
because he
giving
was
you.
devoted. He was like, no, what I should do is kick you in the face of being the most horrible human being ever. It was like he was really dedicated to this horrible.
I mean,
Like,
we're talking about a man who had to lie for years and years and years of independent wrestling that he's a luchador. Okay, for most people who don't know, Sami Zayn is El Generico. Okay, for those who don't believe in the kayfabe. But here's the funny thing. So in PWG, it's PWG. Usually, some people that wrestle at PWG, which is Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, one of the best organizations in America right now. But when a wrestler who wrestles at PWG happens to get ready to go to WWE, they usually have to come up with something just to like say, "Oh, he went to WWE." So for El Generico, who wrestled at PWG, they said that, "Oh, El Generico, he's devoting his time helping orphans down in southern Mexico."
uh-huh.
Because of the fact of just to keep it kayfabe, you can't say, "Oh, well, he's in WWE now as Witchcom," because that's not keeping the kayfabe. They're keeping the kayfabe with that. So, my main point is, El Generico is the best liar in pro wrestling right now because he has to keep the fact of all this time he's Mexican, even though he can't, even though he can't speak Spanish. I think. Well, I think he can. I'm not 100% sure, but every time you ask him a question, he will always say "C, C," because that's the easiest thing to say. My point is, they know what they had to do to keep him. What he has to do to keep this storyline relevant, and that's to keep up with this bullshit of this is his sisters.
But yeah, I mean, they could like keep going along with this. Like, probably, I'm assuming the Money in the Bank match is going to be Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. I would have to assume. Otherwise, this means absolutely nothing. But they could have a storyline where his sisters actually come out and help Sami Zayn win. Or they can go with my other theory is that his sisters are actually dead because the man who like pushed their tree down was Braun Strowman. Remember the story that Braun Strowman told?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, as ridiculous as this is, why can't we do the other one?
Here's the thing. People forgot about that. This is
I did it.
they calling this the last piece of the unholy triangle of bad WWE promos between This Is Your Life Bailey and what's the other recent one? There was another recent one.
The guy with the Miz.
No. I think it was both Baileys. This Is Your Life, and then the one where Bailey had a boy that never been kissed or something like that.
Well, it was going to happen. It was supposed to be Corey Graves.
No, it was something else. I forgot
Maybe
what.
I'm misremembering it. I don't remember.
But anyway, it was another bad promo, but they're calling it the unholy triangle.
Oh yeah, this was fucking terrible. But yeah, I would have to assume that's what it's leading to. But yeah, Ember Moon versus Alexa Bliss, and she cut the most strangest promo I've ever seen backstage about the Roman Empire. I'm assuming Vince McMahon solely did this just to get Roman over. They were talking about the Romans, so Ember Moon won, which is interesting that she's picking up a win over Alexa Bliss, because usually nobody picks up a win over Alexa Bliss. So that's something interesting. Again, I'm telling you, Ember Moon is going to do the Eclipse off the ladder. That's the sole reason why she's in that goddamn match.
She's gonna die.
I know, but that's all they want to see is the Eclipse off the ladder.
She's gonna die. She's gonna die so fast, and I don't want that.
We have Baron Corbin versus Noah Jose,
which I will give it the fact of that match was actually the best out of
what they were doing.
Yeah.
Well, Baron Corbin, if you actually give him something, like, for example, remember him and Kalisto at TLC?
Yeah.
Despite all odds, that was actually an amazing match. That chairs match.
Also another thing I want to give, the one thing I can do, I gotta give all the wrestlers props really, because after the weeks that they had to do of the traveling and everything like that.
Oh yeah, that
wrestling
to Saudi Arabia,
and then traveling overseas and everything. This was their last week. This was their last week. Last week was their last week. They had like a 4 week off. Mm-hmm. And everything. They're supposed to get back to their hotels and stuff now, and everything for their trip. But they had the whole week off and everything just to recharge and everything. So you got to give it to them. So the next couple of matches, I would say, give it to someone like Baron Corbin. Which, by the way, I laugh at this because Baron Corbin said, I have him on Instagram, and Baron Corbin has said that he was glad to be home because he was running out of pants. Damn. My question is, if you know you're going to be wrestling multiple nights in multiple areas, wouldn't you bring more than one pair of wrestling tights with you? Apparently, he brought like one pair of wrestling tights, and they ripped.
Jesus.
And he had to wrestle almost every night, and the seamstress that's usually there wasn't there.
That's interesting. Maybe he didn't think he needed it, I guess. Who knows?
I think he had to use like black duct tape just to keep things.
Goddamn. I found this. I saw this meme on Facebook where it says, when the media is accusing all these celebrities of sexual assault, and you overlook a locker room of half naked women for almost half a century, and Vince McMahon looking confused. Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you. So, did you see the? I know you probably don't go on WWE's website, but they posted photos, and the title literally says, "I shit you not, every Money in the Bank ladder match competitor ever." You know who's not in that photo?
Chris Monroe.
Real? Yep.
Well,
how dare they say every Money in the Bank ladder match competitor ever when they know god darn, and it's in order too, because how it goes is Shelton Benjamin, then goes to Edge, then it goes to WrestleMania 22. But it's like, obviously we're missing somebody. But
well, listen.
Okay.
Listen. The furthest they can go with Chris Benoit is show him on the network, because if they want to show episodes of Monday Night Raw, they have to show. Yeah, they have no choice. But at least they say, they in a sense, they kind of put it down as that what you see here is a man who's not actually believable.
No, the way I re-looked up what Stephanie McMahon said about it, and they, ever since 2014, where they launched the WWE Network, they have stayed true to their word. We acknowledged that Chris Benoit existed. we just won't promote him, which that's exactly what they have done. They're not going to pretend like he never existed. If you go on WWE Network, we can find Chris Benoit stuff. They just won't promote him. And this right here is one of those examples of that. They know he was in the Money in the Bank, but they're not going to tell us that. But at the end of the day, they know he was in the Money in the Bank. So it's not like they went back in the WWE footage and just like put like a black dot over this moving person. That would have been actually hilarious. I would actually prefer that. But yeah. I just find it hilarious how they have literally photos of every Money in the Bank ladder match competitor ever. That's the title. I shit you not.
I mean, I believe it and everything, but like I said, I highly doubt that they were going to show anything with Chris Benoit in it.
Yep. They didn't even show CM Punk and Neville, despite the fact that one's having contract disputes and one's about to go to court with them. They even showed those two.
I mean, yeah, they have no choice but to not to.
But yeah, so we had the B team versus Breezango rematch from last week, and clearly, my brother is so salty because he said the second Miz left Raw, these two were done, and here we are 3 weeks later. They are one of the main tag team program. They are the only tag team program on Raw. So, yeah, congratulations to Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas for finding a niche in the B team. I have to admit, it's somewhat funny because it's one of those things where it's like, how the fuck did this get over?
They know. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I would say about, for instance, Curtis Axel. Mm-hmm. Curtis Axel got over while using Axelmania. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay? It was short-lived, but he got over with that. He also got over the whole Royal Rumble thing that he never been eliminated. He can find ways to get himself over. Same with Bo Dallas. That whole belief thing, as annoying as it was, it got over.
Yeah. I still hate Hulk Hogan for that. He ruined the Axelmania shit. That was going somewhere, and I loved every moment of it. Where it was like, remember, like for that brief, like 2 weeks, they had like a clock every time he came out.
Yeah.
How long he was in the row. It was fucking beautiful.
Oh, here's another thing to remember. Remember Damien Sandow was, for some reason, Macho Man, and he was Axelmania.
I know, that's
the point. And they did Mega Powers for like 2 weeks.
And then Hulk Hogan happened.
Yeah, then Hulk Hogan. Yeah, and then that.
That's the problem. And it's like, I still believe to this day, the most hilarious thing. Remember when Tough Enough was airing during that time? Mm-hmm. And they had Hulk Hogan as a judge because of this whole situation. I even told my brother, it's the most hilarious thing that they could have done. Instead of putting The Miz as one of the panelists, they should just put Curtis Axel there and pretend like he was there the whole time. Like, that would have been the most hilarious thing I would have ever seen. Like Dan Bryan said, but Curtis Axel, remember you said last week, despite the fact that Curtis Axel wasn't there, that he said this and whatever, they just pretend like Curtis Axel was there the whole time. That would have been amazing, but they blew it. But yeah, so the B team won, and this is obviously leading because I'm reading WWE's version of this recap. They're mentioning Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, so this is clearly leading into Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy facing Breezango. So at Money in the Bank, I'm assuming. Which I must say, out of all the tag teams you had an option for, I'm not trying to discredit Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas, but you have members on your roster like the Revival, the Authors of Pain now. You have Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. Your first choice is Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Who is in the writing staff here? I have to wonder. No, I just sometimes, I mean, it's one of these things where it's like, I mean, granted, it's getting over, so props to them, but it's like when you have like 4 of those teams and you pick them, who is writing this show? I don't know. But then you had the contract signing between Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey, and Stephanie McMahon right there. What are your thoughts on this?
I have a theory of what's going to happen.
Now, did you read the report how originally Ronda Rousey was supposed to face Mickie James in one-on-one actions during European tour?
Mm-hmm.
Right? At the very last minute, as in day of, they decided that, you know what, it's just going to be 6-person tags the whole week. And that's what happened. Ronda Rousey only came in like the last 2 minutes of the match to doing her hot tag and making Mickie James tap out. So, I don't know. I mean, how would you interpret that?
She's not completely 100% ready for long-term wrestling action, especially against someone like Mickie James. I think that she can't wrestle. It shows that she can do some stuff, but how long can she last in the ring?
Geez, I wonder where they came to that conclusion, because she only had one match at WrestleMania, which was a tag match, mind you.
Exactly.
And her female opponent was Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah. So they had time to.
So who was the person clicking pencils one day in the writings meeting? Say, hey, you know, it'd be an interesting idea. Let's have Nia Jax face Ronda Rousey at one of our pay-per-views for the Raw Women's title, despite the fact that the challenger of the match literally only had one match. And I'm not even counting live events. Up until that point, she literally had one match.
I have a theory.
So, what is your theory?
I think Nia and Stephanie McMahon might be working with each other.
That's the only way, based on the fact that they literally at the last minute changed the planned live events to 6-man tags. Well, I think it's gonna happen at Money in the Bank. It won't even be a match. When I say that, it means like what's probably gonna happen with like 2 minutes in. There's gonna be like a screw job fitted for Nia Jax winning or something, just like a pinfall and just a fast counters, just something. This match is not gonna go long. Like, it's just I can't see it, because I'm not trying to bash Nia Jax, but she's pretty much as experienced. She's like the least experienced one on the Raw roster currently, correct?
No, I won't say that. She can wrestle.
I'm not saying she can wrestle, but like out of everybody they could have gave Ronda Rousey the position to wrestle, like Mickie James, for example, who's been doing this for years. They picked Nia Jax.
Oh yeah, we say like that, sure.
No, but again, I'm not trying to bash, but it's like you have someone who's been wrestling for over a decade versus someone who's only been wrestling the past 5 years. Who am I going to pick? I don't know. It's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, you could have just did something else with her, I guess.
But I also do think that Stephanie McMahon is going to.
Oh yeah, she has to. Otherwise, there'd have been no point in her in this contract sign. She's clearly going to be involved in this Money in the Bank match one way or another. Do like just getting into Nia Jax's ear and just making her like turn Nia Jax, turn heel. Where somebody was already joking, Nia Jax is looking to be the Big Show of the women's division. It turns a face and heel turns. Cause like, didn't she just turn face?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. We might be getting into that in that realm.
Or maybe she goes in and she interferes in the match, but then Nia Jax doesn't want the interference.
At the end of the day, Nia Jax is not losing her title, and Ronda Rousey's not losing clean. So something clearly is gonna happen. Because what was the point of giving Nia Jax the title then in the first place? If you wanted her to drop the belt to Ronda Rousey, you could have just let Alexa Bliss do it then. Like, seriously, what was the point? You had Dolph Ziggler versus Chad Gable. Dolph Ziggler again. That was a good
match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, again, Dolph Ziggler is it's so sad. Dolph Ziggler used to, before Dean Ambrose came around, literally my favorite superstar on the current roster, besides The Undertaker, obviously, was Dolph Ziggler. Like, he was legit. I was behind him since day one. and it was like he was literally my favorite wrestler. Never turned my back on him until Dean Ambrose showed up. So yeah, but he's still good, and he beat Chad Gable. Now, I have to assume, because based on the report, apparently Jason Jordan's coming back next week. And even though Kurt Angle literally told him 2 weeks ago, I'm not bringing you back as a tag pattern, I'm bringing you back as a single pattern. Watch Jason Jordan comes back and they team up.
Also, you want to know something I heard too?
What?
Apparently, Sergeant Benjamin, Sergeant Benjamin doesn't have, has gone back to his old theme.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah.
And they're keeping what's it called with this new theme that he had back at Smackdown.
Oh, Chad Gable.
Yeah. So, do you think that they're going to keep? Do you think that they're going to have? If they're to have an attack again, do you think they're going to keep? Because Jordan's music wasn't that good.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that.
It's not one of the best songs that CFO came up with. So,
I'm saying, do you think that they're going to give back
Jason? I don't know. Is he coming back as a heel though? That's the question.
Well,
I don't know what they're doing with Jason Jordan because they pretty much left us on a cliffhanger. He wasn't really a heel when they cost him Rollins and Reigns shot the tag to tell he was just being an asshole, which I guess is a heel, but even though he's being a dumbass. But I don't know what they're doing with him. It's the same thing with Ambrose. Logic would dictate Ambrose is coming back as a heel. Because he really can't come back as a face. Who like, there's too many faces.
Well, he wasn't.
So
but he wasn't quite. He wasn't quite a heel yet. Like he was.
Ambrose wasn't a heel, but that's why it's like I want to see will they actually play off the fact that it was technically, even though he was already injured. In storyline, Rollins was the one that actually injured him. Obviously, it was by mistake, but. Will they actually play that back up for for their justification for him to be a heel?
That's probably so.
I don't know, because as of right now, what is Rollins actually doing besides these Intercontinental Championship Open challenges? What is he actually doing? Nothing. He's not even scheduled for Money in the Bank yet. Like the pay-per-view at all. What exactly is he doing? I don't know. So, but yeah, Dolph Ziggler beat Chad Gable, and afterwards, Smackdown. I mean, damn, that Claymore is like a thing of beauty. I always liked his Future Shock DT, but I'm really starting to love that Claymore. Like that.
Remember how tall that man? How tall that man is that he can.
I know for someone who's that tall, the fact that he can just one-legged just kick you straight in the face with that velocity is like, damn. How are you not dead after that? It's pretty much like a rocket launcher. It was just So that happened. What was the next segment after that? They announced next week Seth Rollins will face Jinder Mahal for your Continental title. So I highly doubt Seth Rollins is losing that. So
it won't be a clean match.
Oh yeah, obviously Roman Reigns is gonna come out and probably fuck over Jinder just because. Oh, we had Natalya versus Dana Brooke versus Liz Morgan versus Sarah Logan to qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So Natalya qualified.
Yeah, I don't. The one thing about this qualification match is I kind of feel like that they wasn't going to let any of the Wyatt Squad
really
or any of
them. I know, because how dare they? Yeah.
I mean, look, it's fine that they let Ember Moon in. I don't think any of the Wyatt Squad was going to be a part of something like this.
Especially if Bray
You got
Wyatt wasn't a part of it.
But I feel like you gotta have your veterans and one newbie.
Yeah, which is Ember Moon. So, well, we'll get to SmackDown. So,
yeah,
in terms of that, but you had Elias versus Bobby Roode, which shockingly Elias won.
Oh, it's not shockingly. Those two.
Well, no, he won cleanly. That's what I was shocked about.
Oh. Well,
I'm not shocked that he won. He won clean.
Well, they had. I would say it like this: for Elias being a heel, he hasn't really done that much
heel moves to win.
Just, yeah, heel bashes with the guitar, but at this
qualification.
Yeah.
No.
Also, he's done it where he's also done it after matches, or he's done it, stuff like that. Like he hasn't really done stuff to make him like a heel, where he's like, oh, I'm gonna use this to attack the person or anything, or try to sneak. He can actually, wrestle.
Yeah, he's one of those heels where it's like he's one of those rare heels, like a Kevin Owens, for example, where he'll just beat you, he'll just out wrestle you to win instead of using cheating tag like a typical heel will. He'll just simply out wrestle you, or at least attempt to win the match.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, that's one way of going with his character. I guess I think our favorite part afterwards was when Elias was walking up the ramp. All you hear is Braun Strowman's song, and he just got ran over by Strowman. I thought that was actually hilarious. But then we had the main event: Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor, and it was a good match. I can't say nothing bad about it. Finn Balor, at least
it was one of the best matches of the night because Raw was pretty much of a lackluster.
It was.
I feel
it was pretty much copy and paste what the UK show was essentially.
Also,
most of those matches.
Also, the fans sort of died when the Sammy's sister
because
segment.
They get killed. I think it went downhill afterwards.
Yeah, it killed the fans. The fans was just like,
fuck this. Yeah, so it was a good match. I mean, obviously Braun Strowman ended up winning, but he did show a sign of respect to Finn Balor. So both of these wins will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and we'll see where things go. Now, SmackDown, on the other hand. First off, The Miz. He did miss TV, and he was talking to New Day. The whole point was he was supposed to find out which member of the New Day is going to be part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. And the whole segment was pointless because we did not get to find out.
Well, it was pointless to a point, but
yeah, I mean it was still entertaining. I'm just saying, but
it was entertainment. Things, but also against that match. So, did you see what you come had said?
Xavier Woods, yeah.
Well, not Xavier Woods. Did you see what Corey Graves said?
What?
Okay, so apparently he wants justice for.
Oh, I've been seeing that on Twitter. I just didn't understand what it meant.
Okay, so here's what happened.
Okay.
When the match was about to start, it was going to be Big E versus The Miz. Just by the way, The Miz won. Big E threw his rain jacket to over to where the announcer table was, which happens to had hit Corey Graves, which made him stab himself in the hand with his pencil. So Corey Graves, let me pull up this Twitter because it was actually it was on both Twitter and his Instagram. So he actually goes to say, hold on, as it's loading, and there's been all sorts of stupid tonight. Okay, I forgot I did see this. So he goes and says, I I had oh, I gotta go to this because it's not complete. I had to read the whole thing on Instagram, and which is a funny picture he posted. He said last night on SmackDown Live, I suffered a debilitating injury as a rain jacket was thrown at me, causing me a great deal of rain jacket was thrown at me, causing the point of my trusty pencil to be lodged in my palm. I powered through the broadcast, but the corporate must be brought to justice. The corporate is none other than New Day's member Big E. And if you go to his Instagram, you see, you see the hole in his hand. It's not a big hole, but he says a nice little hole in his hand. There's a picture of Big E spreading his legs. There's something completely wrong with that man. He is hilarious, but there's something completely wrong with
No,
Big
Big
E.
E, yeah. I seen that picture. That's what I was seeing. I was like, is this even real?
That man clearly just. There's a
He's
video.
amazing. Yeah, Big E is something else.
There's a video of like the New Day. It was like filming for something, and it's like, we came up with this concoction that's gonna do something, blah 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 blah, and everything, and then Big E comes out of nowhere. We're gonna stick weird things in the kid's mouths. Up, well, you ruined it. There you go. What you ruined it. So apparently, if you scroll up, it was like it's an update. It's surprisingly difficult. It's surprisingly difficult to file assault charges against Big E, as he no longer possesses a last name.
Damn. Because yeah, he doesn't. It used to be Big E Langston, but
now it's just Big E.
So there you go. But yeah, we didn't find out, but we still got with the Miz versus Big E, which the Miz won because of the bar interference. So, but yeah, remember that spot with Kofi Kingston? That was amazing.
I was ready to bring that up.
Yeah, like him just in like just smooth session, jumping on Cesaro's shoulder, just to dive on. Like, my God, how does Kofi Kingston do these types of things? It was just so fluidly perfect. Like anybody could just mess up that spot because you know how perfectly timed you have to do that. I can't even imagine how many times they probably had to practice that.
I don't think he practiced it. I think that was just like
he just did it and just said fuck it.
I mean, you're talking about the man who does all these great things
at the Royal Rumble, yeah.
But I didn't see. Did he do anything in the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Pancakes. It was no. That was I don't remember the Greatest Royal Rumble. It was 4 hours long.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that.
What?
That.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess yeah. So apparently, well, it's not apparently. It's officially because WWE themselves have said it. Moving forward with Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Now, all pay-per-views will start at the new start time at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here in the Eastern Coast, which means, in theory, the regular shows will be starting. Will be going on for 4 hours.
They're going 4 hours.
Fuck that.
They're going for
on a
hours.
Regular show. Usually you only have to deal with this on the Big Four, but
I don't.
Which means the Big Four are gonna be like, well, they were already like 5 hours anyway, but now they're going to be 5 hours.
I don't. At least
this is what happens with the brand exclusive. I mean, when the dual branded pay-per-views. Told you. Despite what y'all said about the brand exclusive pay-per-views, they were at least consistent where they were always 3 hours and that's it. But with it showed with Backlash, remember when that crap would go out to like 11:30? And it was like, why? But now it's officially gonna probably go off like around 11:30 because it's starting at 7. So, wait, what happened to Ron? I just realized Ron disappeared. What happened? Ron, where did you go? Holy crap. Lost connection. I will try and invite you back, man. Hold on. I was wondering why nobody was talking to me. Let me do that. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. That was weird. I was wondering what happened. So Ron's gonna be coming back shortly. I gotta make sure he got the right link. Mm. Hold on, is this the cell? But as I'm waiting for Rod, send another link. Hold on. Did that work? Oh no, he'd been sent it like 2 hours ago. As I'm waiting for Ron though. So yeah, you had that. And then we had Lana winning her Money in the Bank qualifying match against Billie Kay. I mean, I have a theory as to why this happened. But Lana, out of all the women here, Lana won. So there you go. Lana's going to be part of Money in the Bank despite the fact that she, up until now, she's never won a singles match. And I wouldn't even call this a match, is what she won. It was not a match. It was just stuff happened and she got the pinfall, but it wasn't a match. I could definitely say that. Hold on. Where the hell is Ron? Am I tripping? Oh, I guess Ron. Hopefully Ron get back in soon. But yeah, that's what happened with Lana. What else happened? Yeah, Johnny Amos, who has since debuted like 2 weeks ago. He's facing a jobber again. The storyline, I'm assuming they were going here that they want actual real competition. I don't know who this is actually leading into. Maybe this might be Jeff Hardy or something. Who knows? So I don't know what this. I'm assuming it has to. Out of everybody, yeah, I'm talking the way I'm talking. Out of everybody on the roster, Jeff Hardy seems the only logical example he can go to that's credible at the moment. And after his United States title, so I could possibly see that in Money in the Bank. We finally figured out what's going to be a stipulation between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles based on the promo that we got. And, yeah, it is going to be a last man standing match. And that should be very interesting because they're doing a last man standing match, even though I asked for a ladder match, despite the fact that the whole point of last man standing yet, where a person has to stand on their feet in order to win the match. They can pretty much do the exact same thing that they did at Backlash where neither man can get up. So it was like, what the hell was the point? But hey, live and learn, I guess. Not letting me back in. I'll just make a new. I got you, Ron. Let me make a. What I'm gonna do is cancel that rendezvous session and make a new one. So disconnect that one. I'm gonna start a brand new session with that link because I figured out what was gonna happen. And let me try that one. Try that one, Ron. And as Ron is getting back in, what happened next? Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson versus the Usos. I mean, I say Usos, Jesus Christ. The Usos. The winners will face the Bludgeon Brothers for the tag team titles at Money in the Bank. And shockingly, Gallows and Anderson won. So that begs the question, what the hell is going on? Use Gallows and Anderson doesn't win anything. So the fact that they won that means something is definitely going on that maybe they just wanted something different I said, I mean, I guess it was the Usos been in the spotlight forever, so I guess it's somebody else's turn. Which, I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, I don't know where they're going with this. I'm kind of happy for them. So it should be an interesting match. Gallows and Anderson versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Huh. Should be very interesting. We had Naomi defeat Sonya Deville to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So all of the women on SmackDown are officially set. On the SmackDown side, you have Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Naomi, and Lana. On the Raw side, we're just missing one person from that side. But currently, as of right now, you have Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, and Natalya. So there's that. You have... Hold on. Oh, then we had our main event. We had Dan Bryan versus Jeff Hardy, and a second opportunity at the Money in the Bank qualifying match. Because the whole point is, you guys didn't know the story. Last week on SmackDown, we had Big Cass and Dan Bryan confront each other, and all right. Well, I'm actually not even near my phone, so. All right, yeah, I don't know what happened. Somehow I got disconnected. I don't know what happened.
That's me out of nowhere.
That's
like,
weird.
I don't get it either. But like, I don't have. At first, I thought maybe because I have YouTube up. I don't have YouTube up.
So I was talking about. So the main thing I wanted to ask you about Lana was why.
Okay, so I see what you're saying like that. Okay, who did Lana face again? I forgot.
Billy Kay.
That's the reason.
I am assuming.
Listen, I'm not saying that Lana is the best wrestler, but Lana, as a main roster wrestler, it's a shame to say it because Billy Kay is a better wrestler than Lana. It's been proven that time and time again. I mean, Billy Kay and
Peyton Royce, they've been doing this for years.
Yeah, but main roster.
I know, in terms of
You know, they
it says a lot, don't you think?
Oh, it does, and it's a shame, but that's exactly what it is. It's a fact of for main roster, they've been up there. For main roster, she's been up there. Is Lana going to win? Hell no. Lana's not going to win Money in the Bank. Let's be pretty fucking clear here. Like, no. Lana's not going to win Money in the Bank, but Lana is going to be in Money in the Bank over Peyton Royce and Billy Kay because Peyton Royce and Billy Kay only came to the main roster a couple of weeks ago, and being to the fact of they could have bring like an Impact to there, be like, oh, well, we're the new people and we're out with the old and with the new, whatever, blah blah blah. Like I said, you already got one new person there, and that was
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, and that's Ember Moon got to go and take it out of everybody else.
In terms of their booking, the only reason why I feel like this happened is because they're going to use, which I guess would somewhat make sense, they're going to use Billy Kay and Peyton Royce as the reason why Asuka loses against Carmella.
You think that?
Yep. That's literally the only reason because I can't fathom like either Billy Kay or Peyton Royce not going in Balana's, and I'm assuming they're just going to use those two to make sure Asuka doesn't so Asuka has a reason why she didn't beat Carmella out of all people for the SmackDown Women's title.
I was going to say that Carmella was going to win by DQ. I wasn't going to bring those two.
No, they're going to use those two. Might as well, because they're trying to make Carmella as credible as possible. Remember, she beat Charlotte clean, so.
Yeah, but I don't think she's going. Me personally, I don't think she's going to be Asuka clean. I don't think.
Of course not. That's what they're going to use Billy Kay and Peyton Royce for.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't expecting to add them. I was just going to say that a DQ was going to happen, and then.
No, I get what you're saying. So we had Andrade, who debuted last week, and he again fought a local competitor.
I love that. I love that move that he does when he kicks you and then elbows you afterwards.
Oh yeah.
I love that move. But here's something that I'm afraid of. You already know what Johnny can do. Why does he have to face jobbers? Why can't you just throw him in with someone like whoever the fuck is not doing nothing at the moment? Oh, I don't know, Ty Dillinger.
It's funny. That was literally the first name I was about to say out of my mouth, which is sad. But
it's like, what the fuck is Ty Dillinger doing right now? The last thing I know about Ty Dillinger,
he was trying to find R-Truth.
No, he got a new haircut.
Oh yeah, but he was trying to find R-Truth. But where's R-Truth?
He's on SmackDown.
Yeah, where?
I don't know.
It's like,
but there you go. Put him against R-Truth 1 week. Put him against Ty Dillinger the next week. Don't make him face these jobbers, because then you know how I look at that. It's the same thing I look at it as AOP. It's kind of like a video game where you put them through various training modes and stuff before you get him ready to face the big bosses. But the thing is, AOP has been NXT. They don't need it. Johnny was the NXT
definitely
champion.
Doesn't need it.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Why are you giving them these jobbers? I'm not saying that the jobbers have nothing to do either, but no, let him face someone that's a little credible, like a Ty Dillinger, because these at least say, wow, in his first appearance here on the main roster, he defeated someone like Ty Dillinger. Yes, Ty Dillinger is not like the
be all end all of SmackDown.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
no, I get your point.
I want to say it like this. Prime example. No Way Jose.
Yeah.
No Way Jose
is actually doing something.
Yeah, he's actually facing Baron Corbin. He got a win off of Baron Corbin. Okay, Baron Corbin, yes, Baron Corbin's no slouch. But No Way Jose, he won against Baron Corbin. So, but No Way Jose didn't face a jobber for the first couple of weeks he's been there. He faced Baron Corbin. He's in the thing with Baron Corbin. Why can't Ardrani be in the thing against someone like Ty Dillinger, someone like R-Truth, someone who's just not doing anything at the moment?
Based on how this episode went, and because of who won and who lost in the main event, I
actually didn't watch all SmackDown, so I've read clips, but I didn't know everything.
I got you. But yeah, so I'm assuming just a theory. I'm assuming Johnny might be going after Jeff Hardy for United States title.
I can see that.
That's literally the only thing.
Because right now, because here's the thing. Right now, Jeff Hardy got nobody.
Yeah, that's my point. Because he just lost his Because that was the main event, but before that,
actually, I did watch the main event. I came back into that, but at the same time, there was actually supposed to be a rematch, not a rematch, but like him and Randy Orton were supposed to actually go at it for a while.
Yeah, but Randy needed surgery.
Yeah, Randy is injured now.
Which would explain where the hell he fell off the face of the earth. Cause my first thought, I was like, God damn, Randy, I know you lost, but damn, you gotta take it so personally.
I just thought he was just taking another break because
I know he does that, but like, damn, he fell off the face of the earth.
Well, no, because how his contract, he actually can take breaks. This is a bad matchup. I'm watching Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which by the way, I cannot wait till Tuesday. And as much shit as I give Capcom or whatever, I'm a sucker for classics, and this Tuesday, even though fuck my job, they got me working on Tuesday. I'm usually off on Tuesdays, but now they got me work because like last week, they cut my hours. I'm only working 4 days a week. No, how many days a week? What, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays I work 4 days, and they cut my hours and everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Now this week, starting tomorrow, I gotta work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'm like, so Sunday you want to give me these many days? I'm like, okay, that's fine. Why you got me working on the day where this fucking game's supposed to be coming out the hour I'm about to pick up on Tuesday? I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go pick up my game, I'm gonna play this all day, probably stream myself playing. I'm not even doing that. Then I'm working 9 to 4 on Tuesday, so I'm like, so it's not even the fact of, oh, I get off at like 1 or 2. I can just go ahead and go home and play my game. No, I gotta fucking do 9 to 4. So I gotta rush to GameStop. The GameStop near me closes at 7. And I deal with school kids. So I'm like,
those goddamn school kids.
So, but what I was saying that there was a bad matchup because there was someone facing Dalsim versus Zangief, and you can't jump over yoga fires and flames all day without getting stretch kicked. But that's neither here nor there. Back to wrestling. Like I said, I'm going back and forth. Back to wrestling. As you said with Jeff Hardy.
Before we get that, on a completely unrelated topic, I just want to get your opinion on something. Because somehow that correlated. You talk about Street Fighter somehow correlated to Power Rangers to me. How do you feel about Saban Brands officially closing down?
I was surprised because I was expecting it to happen later. Because it's funny. It's funny the fact of like how suddenly all the legacy toys that was slated to come out later this year, some of them was slated to coming out like in November or whatever, are now all coming out now. Like I saw the white Dino Thunder Ranger out.
Yeah.
And everything is like, wait, that was slated to come out later on this year. Last time I saw the whole the list of things supposed to be coming out, that wasn't supposed to come out till later on this year. Now suddenly they're all the fuck out. And everything. So it's surprising that they're just like, all right, well, here's a dump of all of these. Y'all can just fucking have it. We're sick of this shit. We're out.
It really is an end of an era. I mean, I really don't know what to say.
The only thing I feel sad for
the workers, obviously.
Are the workers. As far as the buying as a whole, it's time for a change. Because I'll say it like this. Everybody said the same exact thing. The difference between now and 15 years ago was that we didn't have the internet to express ourselves. Because a lot of people felt like, oh my God, Power Rangers on Disney? What the fuck? What kind of shit is this? They're just going to ruin it. It did ruin it, but not before it gave us some good series. Because
like RPM was good.
Yeah.
I like Ninja Storm.
The only bad Disney series, in my opinion, was Operation Overdrive.
I don't think it was that bad.
It was bad.
I mean, I watched Operation Overdrive. I prefer the Bokanger.
You know why it was bad? In my opinion, what was like the nail in the coffin for me? The Red Ranger was a fucking.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody always says, and I will agree with that. It's just because it was like, what?
That wasn't necessary. That you didn't have to. What storyline did you have to fucking come up with to say?
I mean, Disney had some good seasons though. Mystic Force.
Yeah, well, Mystic Force started off bad and ended up becoming good. But yeah, there hasn't. Other than, in my opinion, Operation Overdrive was the least of my favorites. Other than that, all the because it surprised me with Jungle Fury. I'm like, okay,
Jungle Fury was actually good.
They're not going to do kung fu. They actually did more kung fu moves because all the training stars were just doing basic karate, which is flashy stuff, and it wasn't even that. They did we were doing wushu and stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, Jungle Fury actually turned out to be fine and everything. But everyone was surprised about Disney taking over and not Saban, and everybody was
Saban took over again.
Yeah, but it just wasn't.
Samurai. No, Samurai's not even that bad anymore. It's
Samurai
Megaforce.
Samurai wasn't.
It was
It
bad
wasn't.
because it was
No, it
copy
wasn't.
Google Translate,
Oh yeah,
copy and paste Shinkager.
yeah. It was copy paste Shinkager, but Super Samurai
It was fine. Yeah.
fits all that in the sense where, wow, the acting got a little better.
Yeah. But
Um,
then Megaforce happened.
yeah, we don't talk about Megaforce, but
Super
then
Megaforce happened.
we don't talk about that season at all. Then again, I can't blame Megaforce because Ghost Agent was ass anyway. What can you do with fucking Ghost Agent?
But that doesn't excuse it. You could turn an ass Sentai to something. For example, they turned what you would call it into good. I mean, I personally felt like Go Andra wasn't that bad, but RPM was amazing.
That was Disney though.
And you're right. It all depends on people who are producing the show, but it's like that's not an excuse. You can turn something to shit into something good.
No, Ghost Agent was ass from the start. I gave Ghost Agent it's a thing that I have to watch up into the end before A Family Fuck. I watched Kamen Rider Ghost and I fucking hate Kamen Rider Ghost.
Yeah, but what is so bad about Ghost? I mean, Gaim was fucking beautiful. Drive was good.
I don't want to get too much of a tangent on the wrestling podcast, but
my bad.
For me, the thing that was bad about Ghost was its plot. The plot was you have 100 days to find all the icons to bring yourself back to life. If you don't, then you're dead. And the thing is like, okay, so you're thinking that the show is going to take place in the duration of 100 days, including power-ups and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But it took place like almost like week after week after week. And then you go, all right, so what happened to this? All right, the first time you died. All right, well, you didn't find 100 icons. I guess the time you died. Oh, you got a power-up. Oh, okay, that's nice. I wasn't expecting that to happen. But you know what that means, right? That means that you got another 100 days to find these icons again, or you're going to die. And I'm meaning this time. Another 100. All right, well, you know, it's time for you to go now. Wait, your father gave you something? What? Huh? So you got another power-up? So now you're all right. All right, fine. You got another 100. We give you another couple of days to find these things. But I swear to God, if you don't find it this time, you're done. You're done. Well, wait, what the fuck you mean you got another power-up? Infinite? Now you can never die. Wait, what?
I mean, I just find it amazing because it's like...
There were so many plot holes
people always, like, talks about Drive. They skip Ghost and they just go straight to X8. It's like, was Ghost that bad?
Ghost had a lot of plot holes. In my opinion.
Because, like, seems like everybody always talks about X8, and now with
all right, X8 was a surprise for people because it was like they thought it was going to be this goofy, stupid thing of like, oh my God, it's
well, the same thing with Gaim.
Well, the same producer of Gaim is the same producer of X8.
Oh, well, there you go.
But it's like everybody was expecting this dumb, this is video game oriented. Oh, okay. Who would have thought that people was dying for real? And I'd say, like, I told you what happened on the Christmas episode.
Yeah, you did.
And Build, oh my God, Build is like the best. Build is legit like the best series or Kamen Rider series in a while. I mean, yes, Gaim was good, but you gotta watch Build. You got to,
I heard, was there like an episode with like rain or something? I'm seeing a meme about that.
No, the joke is when it rains, it means something bad's going to happen. And it's kind of funny because it's like, I mean, when it rains, it's like something's bad going to happen. Like, oh God, please don't let it rain. Fuck, it's raining. Oh shit, something's bad's going to happen now.
All right, but that's a story. Yeah. I know we unfortunately went off the rail there, but I just had to ask about the Saban thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So first of all, thoughts on the stipulation between Nakamura and AJ at Money in the Bank, Last Man Standing. to me, it makes zero fucking sense because it's like they could literally, in theory, I mean, like I get that the match is scripted, so it obviously won't be the same finish, but just keeping kayfabe for a second, the match could literally end the same way Backlash did.
Well, yeah, it
Both
could.
men not getting up, so it's like
It
why?
could, and that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm legit afraid of.
Like they could have just did a ladder match and then just call it a day because literally the only way you could win is just getting the belt. Like there has to be a decisive winner.
That's what I'm afraid of,
but they didn't do that. But whatever.
Hey, but hey, that's what happens when you let Billy Gunn call you shit. I'm talking about Billy Gunn. Remember, the past couple of matches, Billy Gunn has been writing and producing.
Well, I mean, I think you mean Road Dogg.
That's what I mean, Road Dogg. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One of those outlaws.
And then in the strange, I wasn't expecting this. Gallows and Anderson are now the #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Huh.
I figured they wasn't going to give it to
because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, Usos had the spotlight for like the past year and a half, so I guess it's somebody else's turn. But Gallows and Anderson, okay. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm actually kind of intrigued by this. The Bludgeon Brothers versus Gallows and Anderson, huh? That's interesting. Now my question: where the hell is Sanity? Like seriously, where are they?
I'm pretty sure they're asking that question themselves.
You had Naomi versus Sonya Deville in a qualifying match. Obviously, Naomi had to win because I'm sorry.
Once again, I said this before. Ember Moon is already got the golden ticket as being the new person in this whole match for Beverly.
You had the main event, which is Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy to earn a second chance opportunity because again, Big Cass is injured. Highly doubt he is because they showed him backstage in the crutches on TV. So it's like, if he was truly injured, they just wouldn't show him at all. Clearly, what's going to happen is next week when Daniel Bryan faces Samoa Joe, Big Cass is going to cost him the match.
Actually, I don't think that's going to happen for real.
What do you think is going to happen?
Because no. The reason why is because legit, Big Cass is hurt again.
He is.
Yes.
Oh, I have.
Apparently, he retweet that and that leg again.
For fuck's sakes, man.
Let me make sure, but I remember reading that this injury that they're saying is actually not it's not actually a fake injury. This is actually a real deal.
Got you.
Or let me go into this right now, see if I can actually read it. It says there's rumors of the day. It said the Big Key. All right. It says it was said Big Key's knee is being evaluated to determine if he needs another ACL surgery. If that's the case, he could miss another six or more months.
What is he, Dale?
Huh?
We're like he literally. Oh shit! Yeah, I am reading it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so he...
Was he fucking Hideo Itami? He was sort of for like 2 months and literally injured himself again.
Yeah, so he might actually be injured again.
Let's talk about that because it's like... No, specifically Hideo, which segues into 205 Live. Because as I was watching Hideo Itami and Akira Tozawa, which was a good match by the way. I mean, again, 205 Live, I keep saying that. Every week, you're going to expect 205 Live to put on good match. The real question is, are the fans going to care? That's the question. But... No, but, go ahead.
I'm saying they actually recording a day show now.
I mean, it's because it's good. I mean, shit, if this was happening a year and a half ago, I mean, fuck. where would this happen a year and a half ago? But there was two main things I want to talk about 205 Live. Well, first you had Drew go with Grand Metalik again. Why is Grand Metalik with these stupid posers?
Why do you keep caring about Grand Metalik?
Because he deserves Grand Metalik deserves better. Why is he with these idiots? Because he can't talk. That's the only problem. He doesn't know how to speak English.
There you go.
But it's like, who cares?
People care.
He was a finalist in the Cruiserweight Classic. He was literally one win away from becoming the Cruiserweight champion. Why is he with these losers?
You want to know why? Because he legit just said it.
But you see what he can do in the ring.
Yeah, go. Listen. You see what Oscar
he is literally the definition of the Cruiserweight.
Look, you can see what Oscar can do in the ring. You can see what Nakamura can do in the ring. You can see what Hideo Itami can do in the ring. You can see what Grand Metalik can do in the ring. You know the difference between those three and Grand Metalik?
What?
They know how to speak English.
I'm just saying, like, this is fucking ridiculous.
So when it's time to cut a promo, you won't have to sit there and go speaking your native language and then have a translator do that. That's the same as that thing with Adrane. Look, Adrane can only speak but so much English, but he's not the best in English.
Selena.
Exactly. He has a mouthpiece. But
Kalisto, though.
What else are you going to do?
The Lucha thing guy. Remember him?
Look, he's not the best.
You're loud about that, too.
Look, he's not the best mouthpiece, but he has a mouthpiece. Okay?
I'll never forget. I'm sorry. It's just, just the fact that they aired. I know it was live, but for Jesus.
I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best. But you can. I'm just saying the main reason why that's when he can put on a clinic. We all see what he can do. But at the end of the day, if they want to do a post match interview and he can't speak the lick of English, then what's the point? That's how
they like Goldberg. He just doesn't talk. He just walks away.
But no,
do something.
That's not his character.
I know. It's just like, do something. Just except with these two idiots. Because really, let's say Durago, Grand Metalik, they'd be like, what, why? I mean, I get the reason. In terms of storyline, I see what they're doing because the whole point is Drew Gulak, he's still on his no high-flying thing, and the main three culprits are the Lucha House Party. Why is that their name? I don't know. But he fought Kalisto last week. He won. And now he's fighting Grand Metalik. I'm assuming Lindsay Dorago is going to be the last one. But now Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick are in the midst. I'm assuming it's going to be like the anti-high flyers, which is an interest. I mean, because all three of those people are like, they don't high fly, so
they're the ground
technical wrestlers. So that would put an interesting dynamic in the things. So I have no problem with that, but it's just, come on, for fuck's sake, Grand Metalik.
Look, you can't. At the end of the day, and then look, Grand Metalik. I mean, not Grand Metalik. Nancy Dorado. He's from Trenton.
I don't even. I literally could care less
you
if
should like him.
Nancy Dorado got fired tomorrow.
He's a homegrown. You should not praise him, but you should like him. He's homegrown. He's from Trenton.
Okay.
He trained with in Chicago.
I mean, it's just
nothing helps, huh?
No, because this is fucking insane. How is this? First of all, how does I'm sorry. I'm just saying. It's just, it boggles the mind where we have a division where someone like, who's the best example? Someone like Kalisto was able to get the opportunity for the Cruiserweight title before Grand Metalik. In terms of what they can actually do, it's just like, how does this work?
Look, I'm pretty sure that if you write a letter,
I complain enough. Remember that one small time when I complained every week on the podcast, and it finally happened when the Balor Club finally formed. Remember that?
Yeah, and I also remember when you complained about where's Grand Metalik at,
and they finally showed up.
Showed them. So
I do believe at least one person WB watches this podcast. Because they just surprised after enough complaining, he finally fucking showed up after like how long? But yeah, so now the TJP. Now, this is
I'm actually shocked that TJP's still there.
No, but that's the thing. This is something because this can either open like a worm, like I mean, like they could go down the rabbit hole with this storyline, or I don't know what they're gonna do here because I don't know if you know the storyline. Because the whole point is TJP on Twitter. Obviously, this is clearly planned. TJP on Twitter has been writing like his frustrations about 205 Live. So much so that he had a tweet like last week talking about, "Am I 206 yet?" and whatnot. And they actually acknowledged that. And it's so much so that they showed a tweet of him adding Paige. He was like, "Hey, when can I join you guys?" You know, the Smackdown GM. So it's like they're running this storyline where it's like TJP wants to get out of 205 Live. Now, my whole thing is, in terms of just in the realm of WWE Universe, if TJP somehow miraculously gets out of this division, goes to like Raw or SmackDown, wouldn't every other cruiserweight want to do the same exact thing?
I mean, yeah, but
This is a weird storyline to touch on.
At the same time, how many people are in the cruiserweight or in the cruiserweight division? How many are there more there?
Total?
Yes.
If you don't count Neville, it's like 13.
How many of them has to get in TV time?
Fair point. Like the same 7 or 8 people.
Okay, but they do mix up here and there.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. The one thing you have to give 205 Live, unlike surprisingly Raw SmackDown, everybody gets a chance. Which, for example, like Avari Davari, for God's sakes, even he had a main storyline before. So it's like everybody gets a chance in 205 Live. So it's like, no, I get what you're saying, because like TJP were to go to SmackDown or Raw, he'll become like Ty Dillinger.
Another thing. Wasn't TJP injured?
Yeah.
And now he's just now coming back.
Yep.
And you're expecting to be...
Maybe that's... I don't know. I mean, this again, Triple H is in charge of this show. He clearly has... That's why I just find this intriguing. It's like, are you opening up a rabbit hole here where it's like...
Maybe he is. Maybe it's one of those things of, sure, we'll let you on there, and then you face the big leagues, you get your ass whipped, and then you be begging to come back.
I don't... It's just a weird... It's like this weird realm of it's like, if this actually pays off, if TJP gets what he wants to either go into SmackDown, for example, wouldn't every single other cruiserweight want to do that then? Just do the same, just bitch and moan, and you get with like it's just an interesting. So I wonder where this is leading, because all he wants is actual competition. Because he said fighting a jobber is like nothing. So it's
maybe he might turn back around and come back to Suicide.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I say. I don't know what they're clear again. That's why it's an interesting storyline. The fact that Triple H, who again does wonders in NXT with his simple storytelling, I have to wonder what is he doing here. But then the main event, you had Hideo versus Akira, which was again, it was a very good match. Like that Falcon arrow off the turnbuckle was amazing, and it was a good match. And Hideo won, obviously. It was just so. But I was sitting here watching this match, and my first thought was just watching him in the main event. It's like, how different WWE would have been if Hideo Itami would have never got injured. Because remember a while back in 2015 where there was supposed to be a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Kevin Owens' NXT title.
Mm-hmm.
It was Hideo versus Tyler Breeze. Wow, who would have thought saying Tyler Breeze in a main event picture? But Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, and Finn Balor. Unfortunately, Hideo Itami got injured and the spot was given to Finn Balor.
Yeah, I remember that because it was supposed to be. It was like so many things. It was like Kevin Owens did it.
Yeah,
maybe Finn Balor did it.
And then he got injured. Time flies. The following year, Shinsuke Nakamura shows up, and he became the better Japanese person. Hideo finally got back from injury, about to feud with Austin Aries. he got injured again, like less than 2 months after coming back. Sat out again. People passed him by, like Bobby Roode, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Became irrelevant. Came back again. They tried to do his heel run with him. It ran his course at Brooklyn when Aleister Black beat him. And now he's on 205 Live, which again is not necessarily a downgrade. Main roster is main roster. So he finally on the main roster after like how many years? 3 years. Don't you find it amazing how it took Hideo Itami 3 years to get to the main roster? It only took Bobby Roode 1 and Nakamura 1.
Yeah, but that's probably because of the fact of injury.
But it just goes to show like how different this landscape would have been if Hideo Itami just never got injured. Would he have been the one to beat Kevin Owens in Japan?
Actually, he was supposed to.
That's my point.
So it's like that whole thing of the whole special with everything was actually made for Hideo, not for Finn.
But that's my whole point. It's like, how different would the world be right now? So you have to wonder. It's just So there was that, and Hideo won. So that storyline's over. I don't know where Hideo goes after. Next week is the big one. So any predictions? Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy, Cruiserweight title. Mind you, this is Cedric Alexander's hometown.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know if that holds true to cruiserweight championships.
Well, I guess we'll find out. Just on a personal opinion, it's clearly obvious. The fact that this championship match is happening on a random episode of 205 Live means that as of right now, the cruiserweights in 205 Live are done with whatever Raw is doing in terms of pay-per-views. I mean, like, do you think this is a good thing or a bad thing?
You have been saying that 205 Live is pretty much their own brand now.
Like, their own brand now. But, like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you feel, like, with 205 Live, like, just, they're doing, like, their...
I feel like it's pretty good because of the fact of, back then when it was on Raw, it just felt like it's just, and now it's time for the 205 segment of Raw.
Yep. But now, like, they're officially their own thing.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I feel like it's good because, like, again, they're building up this regular 205 Live episode as, like, something big. They've been in us for about, like, 3 weeks now, this title match, so we'll see how it goes. NXT, this was something. This was something else. Well, first, Team 6-1 defeated Hell Machine. I mean, in case you don't know, Team 6-1 are heels now, so...
Yeah, they were heel. They were actually heels at the NXT show that I went to for the taping. And that was like the start of their heel run.
So yeah, we had Lacey Evans versus Kairi Sane, and Lacey Evans won against Kairi Sane cleanly. So I don't know what to say about that.
Well, isn't she? Who's supposed to be going up against? What's her face? Yeah.
I will get to that.
I remember reading it, but...
So we had a handicap match between Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet and Velveteen Dream. But miscommunication, Velveteen Dream turned his back on Ricochet because he felt the Ricochet was screwing him over, which led Lars Sullivan to win the handicap match. So the feud between those two are clearly going to happen at TakeOver Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's already... And if you follow
the tapings.
No, if you follow Velveteen Dream on Twitter, which he doesn't really tweet a lot. When he does tweet, he also tweets very cryptid. Mm-hmm. There is a tweet of him. Apparently, someone made a fan art of Ricochet and Peter Pan. And let me see if I can bring it up real quick. I'm on Twitter.
Wait, I read a Twitter. I read a tweet that said he was like, Ricochet is basically the great value version of Leo Rush.
Oh, I laughed at that too.
And then the funniest part was Leo Rush retweeted that.
Oh yeah, those two used to be tag team partners.
It's like, yo.
So those two are like actual friends and like real life.
No, I just found out hilarious.
But no, so what he says, just about 13 hours ago, what he said was Ricochet, The story about a boy who never grew up. Spoiler. In the end, the dream will make a man out of you.
Damn. Well, they're clearly fighting at Takeover Chicago then.
Oh yeah.
And then we had
Which if I can just put a pre thing out there, I feel like I feel like Velveteen might win that one.
I think he is. Ricochet doesn't need to win.
He doesn't. Velveteen needs him more than
he needs. Velveteen needs something. Then you had Johnny Gargano segment with Tommaso Ciampa. So apparently we thought Johnny Gargano was going to retire after Tommaso Ciampa put him out, but then he said no, he's not. He called Tommaso Ciampa out. Tommaso Ciampa warned him to get out the ring before bad stuff happens. Candice tried to get some referees to assist him. If Johnny eventually got out the ring, but then Tommaso Ciampa kept taunting him. So Johnny Gargano tried to get in the ring. Tommaso pushed him off the ring apron, and he fell into Candice, and Candice had to get taken out on the stretcher. So
it's actually in Tommaso is a dick.
He is the greatest heel they have ever made in the past decade.
But you should see this Twitter where he was like,
I know his Twitter is something else.
He was like,
his justification. His justification of doing it.
Then on a good note, that's all about the same height. I'm sure you can share the same nippers.
Right? It's like, yo.
It's like, motherfucker.
For God's sakes, man. And then he says, my dream match. Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa's Twitter is just a thing of glory. He doesn't follow anybody. It's like he just tweets random. So my dream match is Tommaso Ciampa versus Tommaso Ciampa. And then it's like, for God's sakes, man. Oh, and then did you hear when he took a quote from a fan? I can't wait for Candice to beat up Ciampa. Then he said, guys, I get it. Women's revolutions, women's empowerment. Use whichever buzzwords you like best. At the end of the day, I am Tommaso Ciampa, and Candice, well, she's a girl. Oh, and I look like this, and he shows a picture of himself. It's like, this freaking man is amazing. And then he's really act like a heel. For example, his shirt, you would have thought his shirt would have went out on WWE Shop. Nope.
No, he said he's not having that happen. He's like,
damn, but his shirt does look badass.
Yeah, I was actually like, yo, can I please buy that shirt? But he was just like, but he said like, I'm.
Nope. Because he's acting like a goddamn heel. So now, to answer your question about Shayna Baszler, next week they did announce Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. So there's that. But again, I'm not gonna spoil you. Based on the NXT tapings, and if you were watching NXT, I think we clearly know who's really facing Shayna Baszler at TakeOver. That's all I'm going to say. So if you're paying attention to NXT, and if you read the tapings, it's obvious who's going to face Shayna Baszler at TakeOver.
I remember seeing someone's can.
Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say, guys. So I'm not going to spoil you on that. Same thing with Aleister Black.
Well, I already know. I remember that because I was surprised. I was surprised about that, but I'm like, I already know he's probably going to win that. It's going to be. It's going. I'll tell you off when we go off.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I already know who it is too. So, but
I think I have a feeling how I might go, but I'll tell you when we go.
But but they also officially announced, which I'm happy for these guys. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. They're getting a shot at the NXT Tag Team titles.
Yeah.
And I'm good because Oney Lorcan been in NXT for a while. He's never been on a takeover.
Now,
never.
There was a guy that was supposed to go crazy and was like shaved his head and stuff, right? Was that him?
I don't remember.
There was one wrestler who apparently he was pretty or whatever like that, and then something happened, and he
It wasn't Oney Lorcan. I can definitely tell you that.
He ended up like shaving his head and living in the bleachers or something. It was NXT, but I don't know.
No, but it definitely wasn't Oney Lorcan because the only way Oney Lorcan debuted, if I recall correctly, he was just one of Finn Balor's opponents at the time, and that was pretty much it. So, yeah, that was that. And that was this week in wrestling, guys. Next, now one question I have to ask before we go up there: do you think they're gonna do the same exact thing that they did before Monday Night Raw? Because what I mean by that, we have a gauntlet match.
Well, yeah,
this time. So, are we gonna see a 2-hour match?
I won't say 2 hours, but at least a good.
We'll definitely see an hour. It's definitely going to take up the first. If it's the first match on the show, which by logic they have to, so they don't have to run up any time by mistake. They should just put it first and call it a day. But who do you think's going to win that gauntlet match? Based on who's in it.
Probably either Bailey or Sasha.
I can't because it's like they have to interact with each other.
I said
Sasha can't win. No, I don't think they can win.
No, because neither of them are in this. So
I know, but that's my point. So that's like I personally don't think neither of them are going into the Money in the Bank ladder match.
You know?
I don't. I actually personally think maybe Ruby Riott might, just because out of everybody there, they're not gonna put Mickey James in there. They're not gonna put Mickey James in there because they were clearly doing something with Ronda Rousey. I don't know if they're holding off on that or not. And plus, Alexa Bliss is in there. It will literally defeat the point.
Yeah, but it goes with my thing of
No, I get what you're saying. Where Ember Moon should be the only focus point of the new women, but it's like,
I mean, then again, I can see Ruby Riott, but then with Ruby Riott, you're also asking for the other ones to come and interfere.
But I think that's the point. Because but that's the whole point, which is the reason why Mickey James can't win. If, let's say, for example, Alexa Bliss she is in it, wouldn't you rather want Mickey James to help you out instead of actually being one of your opponents? So that's why Mickey James out of the equation. Obviously, Liz Morgan, Sarah Logan.
Like I said, I feel like if you put Ruby Riott in the Money in the Bank match, then you get the other two, and that shouldn't.
No. I get exactly what you're saying. Well, then Dana Brooke.
No. She has a job to do. She has to do
the statistician. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Where are they anyway?
They're a tag team, remember?
But where are they?
They're a tag team member. The last time was the last time they was on TV. They got beat by Drew and Corbin. I thought it was
Corbin, McIntyre, Ziggler.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No. It was
Corbin
right. The Revival. No, it was Corbin the Revival. I'm mistaken myself.
Oh, okay.
The week before that was McIntyre, Ziggler, but
so they were just on the losing streak.
Yeah, so maybe Dana Brooke dropped them. Like the dead weight that they fucking are. But sadly, Apollo Crews. But God, Apollo Crews is an interesting story. It's just he's one of those guys.
That's all it was. I feel like if Apollo Crews stayed down there,
he should have just stayed down there. Yeah.
If he stayed down there just a tad bit longer to get himself known,
because for God's sake,
longer.
People said Dana Brooke got called up too early. At least she's done stuff. What the fuck has Apollo Crews done? Exactly. But it's just he's a sad case. I don't know. At least Ty Dillinger had a championship match on the main roster, at least twice. No, but I hate to use Ty Dillinger as an example, but at least he had 2 championship matches. I don't know what Apollo Crews has done. But by the rate this is going, no way Jose's going to get an Intercontinental title match before Apollo Crews. So.
Well, you're right.
Yeah. But, yeah, guys, this was This Week in Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching.
Wait. Well, actually, since you asked me that, have you seen the Marvel documentary?
I was actually going to watch that probably tomorrow when I get off of work.
You should. It's really, really good. It's really good. I mean, I'll say it like this. When they get into anything about him and JBL. No.
I was
But
waiting for that.
but I mean, cause the thing is that when you watch it, it goes right into the point of the fact of he hold on. The thing is that he doesn't get into specifics of what triggered him to get into these things or whatever, but um it was more the fact of like he had an incident. He's back in the hospital. Okay, he didn't say what he did, he didn't say what caused it, where he was at, what anything, blah blah blah. It was just in this year he was in an incident.
Well, but I think we all know.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, yeah, like, look, most people know that it would have had to do with him, but I feel like out of either A, respect, or B, future lawsuit that might happen, and everything, they just kept it to a point of this happened. It's actually like towards the end of the documentary, but this happened, and that was it.
Well,
but
tomorrow.
like I said, it's really good. Like if you're not even really if you're not even like worried about all that, it's still a good documentary.
Well, there's your plug for the day, guys. Tomorrow on documentary, which they've been like really advertising ever since they announced it. So I'm definitely gonna watch it probably when I get off of work before 90 Day Fiance. Gotta do watch that just because of the train wreck of a show that is on Sundays. So it's either that or Total Bellas, and I picked 90 Day Fiance.
You should probably watch the documentary.
Yeah. So, so that's it for today, guys. As always, this is Creator and Ron signing off. Catch you guys later. See ya.